Standard time would be healthier than permanent daylight saving time.
If we gain light in the evening, we're giving up light in the morning. So it's less healthy for us as a population.
Ken Wright tells Fox 31 sunrises would be after 8 a.m. in December and January if daylight saving time is made permanent.
That has implications for safety there. But that also means that our children are going to be waiting outside for the bus in the morning in the dark.
He says twice-a-year time changes need to stop, citing increases in heart attacks, strokes, and traffic accidents around those time changes. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast.
Checking your I-70 drive, we're getting word of a crash blocking the right lane westbound at Steele, and it is backing up traffic in the area, so just watch for that. Most of I-70 looking good, especially west of I-25. Now, there is a crash on eastbound Hamden approaching I-25, and that's really slowing traffic back to almost Colorado Boulevard now. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, sunny skies, a high of 61 today. Tonight's low 27, and then clouds move in for tomorrow with a high of 57. Currently, it's 49. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
The number one pick is in. Wendy's Breakfast, the official breakfast of March Madness. Choose your starting lineup, like the Breakfast Baconator or Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit, and enjoy oven-baked bacon, fresh cracked eggs, seasoned breakfast potatoes, and Simply OJ. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it. Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh to woo!
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. When my listeners need advice on mortgages, I call Ideal Home Loans, making it possible for you to own instead of renting, or refinancing to fix up the home you have. With their 2-year interest rate guarantee, if rates go down, they refinance you free of charge, or their pre-approval, which gives you the strength of a cash buyer. At Ideal, first they listen, then they lend. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
Got hail damage? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Thursday at 4. Let's talk ballot measures. Do you think Colorado voters would pass one that says you cannot teach sexual orientation or gender identity to kindergarten kids or kids through 3rd grade? And how about one that says males cannot play girls' and women's sports? Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show on earth that does this, 303-713-TALK. So, Mark, let's talk about problems, questions, and complaints. And, again, I got some email about electric cars after we were talking about them. And I'm going to tell you something. It's amazing the response a conversation like that has. And I'll explain it to you in a second here. It's just amazing to me, the response. You're not going to believe what the response is, but we'll talk about it. I got
a lot of them.
Okay, me too. And we had a discussion about electric cars, and I thought electric cars are cool, and they're great for the environment. Hold on, don't say anything yet. And I thought they're a cool alternative, and they're way better as far as technology than gasoline cars. They're fast. They're pretty efficient as far as the cost. I mean, the cost to charge them is way cheaper than gas per mile. But anyway, and I said technology's better, but I like them not because, okay, listen, I believe we have to be good stewards of the earth, okay? I'm not a wild, crazy greenie, but I am pretty environmental when it comes to recycling and normal stuff. And, okay, I don't go overboard. I'm not crazy. But the point I'm making is this. That's not the reason I like the electric car. I just like the electric car because they're damn cool. By the way, this hour
fast.
That's right. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. You know what? Suzanne is trying out this facial serum. She says it is unbelievable because it has anti-inflammatory properties. They also have an eye serum. People have asked after she talked about it, when will it be available? It's going to be available, Suze. When did they tell you? After you give the go-ahead?
He wanted me to try it out, but it's face serum, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it.
But you say it's incredible. I mean, you really do, and you don't exaggerate too much. Really, you don't. No.
Well, what was funny is he said, I want you to try this, and I didn't know what he was having me try it for, so he called me last week. I said, is this supposed to firm your face? He goes, yes. I said, that's exactly what it does.
And it was great. So anyway, RealCBDThatWorks.com. Of course, they have all kinds of formulations for pain, anxiety, and inflammation and all of that. So RealCBDThatWorks.com. Use Tom in the promo code, get 40% off. They have eye serum now. The face serum will soon to come out. Okay, let's talk. We have a special guest we'll get to in a minute. And I say very special because I can count the times they saved my ass. Who knows what would happen if I didn't have them. Meanwhile, Linda, we're going to get Sheridan Auto Tech on to talk to you because you have a problem, and we wanted to run it by an expert, and we appreciate you hanging on for the next day action, Linda. Yep. So what is your basic concern, Linda?
Okay, so I took my 2007 Hummer into Mike Maroney Chevrolet down here in Colorado Springs because they used to be the Hummer dealer.
And you have 170,000 miles on it.
No, I have 70,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, 70. I wrote it down wrong. Keep going.
Okay, so I took it in to just have some service work done. The transmission flushed, the wheels rotated and stuff. So I had never had the spark plugs change on it, so I was talking to the technician on the phone when I was making my appointment. I said, hey, I said, what's the recommendation for getting your spark plugs? And he said, well, 70 to 100,000 or the first 5 years. He said, whichever comes first. So I said, well, maybe I should have that done as long as it's in there because I've never had it done. So I set it all up. I took it in, and they had it the first day, did all the stuff, and then he sent me a text the next morning, said they're going to start on the spark plugs and stuff. So here's the text I get from him after they did the spark plugs. He said, the original spark plug cylinder 5 is cracked. That's due to age. We are finding a random misfire now, so I have to dispatch this to another tech.
Now wait a minute.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to have the car done today. So I just wrote back and said, okay, I don't need the car today. And I said, what's the cost on this? And he just wrote back and said he has to determine that yet. So I sat here most of the day and waited for another text. And then I get the text from after they looked at it. Now he's telling me I need a new engine for $10,666.
Now, hold on. So, are you suspecting, now they were changing the spark plugs, is that right?
Yes.
You know what? Do you suspect they over-torqued the plugs? I don't know if that could do it, if you over-torque a plug and crack a cylinder.
Tom, so I called him as soon as I got this text about this new engine. I called him, and I said, Johnny, I says, what are you telling me here? I said, I drove the car in. I said 20 miles, and I said it ran great. And another thing, Tom, when I took it in there, I was thinking about selling it, so I just wanted to see what they'd offer me for it because I never drive it. So I thought, well, if they give me a good offer with the price of used cars now, maybe I'll sell it. So they even had a salesman come out and drive it, and of course he made me a lowball offer, which I didn't take. And he said, oh my God, he said, that's a beautiful car. I mean, there's not a scratch on it. It's like the day it came out of the showroom. And he says, oh, that's a beautiful car.
Well, man, you're talking about only 70,000 miles on a car that's 2007?
So the question is, someone changing a spark plug, is it reasonable to think they could crack a cylinder head? And because the vehicle is older, it's acceptable.
Kevin Calkin with Sheridan Autotech.com. Sheridan. Uncle Kevin, what do you think?
I got on a little late. What kind of car is this?
Okay, let me review it very quickly. A 2007 Hummer, only 70,000 miles.
It's an H3 with inline 5, just so you know.
H3, inline 5, 70,000 miles. So, you heard the rest. They said, we're changing out the plugs. It's recommended after 70,000 miles. And she says, okay. And then they say, oh, by the way, you have a cylinder cracked.
And I need a new engine for $10,600.
No, we get that. We heard that part. Okay, go ahead, Kevin. Kevin, can you crack a cylinder changing a plug?
Well, if a plug is seized, I imagine it could, you can pull the threads out. You can do a lot of things. I have never cracked a cylinder head pulling a spark plug out.
Okay, which would mean
30 years.
Okay, so if it is cracked, we can't blame it on. I think the bottom line is Linda wants to blame them for the cracked cylinder.
Could it be cracked?
No, but we would have done in that situation. A tech would have come in and said, I'm trying to get this plug out. It is really, really, really tight. I'm concerned. You don't just take it to the point of failure. You at least address that with a customer, like, maybe it's not such a good idea changing the plugs.
But how else?
In there in their seat,
okay. Yeah, what?
Well, you give them the option. It's like, we're going to pull this out. It may do damage.
Kevin, here's what I'm curious of. Could it have overheated? It had this cracked cylinder, but because the plug was in there, it wasn't leaking, it wasn't misfiring. So then when they pulled the plug out, even though the problem was already there, it intensified, and now it's a real problem.
Yeah, a crack would have shown up in one way or another.
That's what I thought.
Can you tell by looking at the crack?
You should be able to determine something, yeah.
Is the crack, if the crack is near where the spark plug is, right where it screws in, then I think there's...
But here's what I don't get. She's saying the vehicle was fine. She drove it in. She didn't have a check engine light on. Everything's cool. Now it's misfiring all the time. It's got a check engine light on. I mean, how the hell can that happen? How can it go from... They must have done something, Kevin.
And because of age, that's a bunch of crap because of age.
Couldn't you tell a new crack from an old crack?
Yes.
That's very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to me the determining factor. If it looks new, then you know what the problem is.
You need to get the head off it and have a machine shop inspect it and get a report on it.
Oh, my God. It's like a nightmare. And then in this scenario, Kevin, if it is a crack and it's just on that top, I mean, do they have to replace the whole engine? Why wouldn't you just do the cylinder head?
Yeah, exactly. No reason.
Yeah, why are they trying to sell her a new motor?
Or repair. You can even. I've even heard of repairing heads.
Sure, you can pin them. There's a lot of things you can do.
And if it's a small crack, couldn't you almost just bore it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
depends on where it is.
Well, I mean, you know what? There's a lot of variables.
I've never cracked a head.
Is it still at the dealer, Linda?
Yes, it is.
I want to get Norris on for his opinion. Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, by the way, 2 locations, 303-455-7242. Let's try to get Norris on and figure out something to do here. 303-713-TALK for your problems, questions, and complaints.
Tune into the Mortgage Doctor this and every weekend. When it's time to buy a new home, lower your house payment, consolidate...
So would I.
Well, I think it would be so easy to check if the crack is new or old. I mean, that's the whole point right there.
You did say on the air, was it an old crack or a new crack? Just so I want to make that clear. The problem is they have to take it apart to see that, and that's just may as well fix it. You did say an old crack or a new crack. Yeah. Can you tell the difference? I can. All right, Empower Reverse Mortgage is a company
I trust to write your reverse loan. If you're 55 or older, did you hear what I just said? 55, yeah. Mark over at Empower Reverse does have a product that goes as low as 55 years old. Of course, the older the better, the more equity the better. He'll counsel you accordingly. You can entrust EmpowerReverse.com, 833-502-3100. Call him if you have any questions about reverse loans. You'll never be upside down in a reverse loan. It's a way to use your equity and never pay tax no matter how much you take out. 833-502-3100. And speaking of homes, let's talk. Genesis Total Exteriors can take care of your roof, your gutters, your siding, your windows, your doors, your decks, your fences, even your outbuildings. Here's the deal. You may want to spruce up your house, or it might be an insurance job because of wind damage, hail damage. You know what? Genesis can work with your insurance claims and put everything on one invoice, one source for you, Genesis Total Exteriors. And they also, of course, do solar. So why don't you give Genesis a call? We know and trust them. I've known them for many, many years. Genesis, 303-679-8509, 679-8509.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing an urgent medical problem, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health brings the power of the hospital to the comfort of your home. That's right. Receive same-day, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort and privacy of your home. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to you, able to treat common to complex issues, including infections, flu, pneumonia, migraines, dehydration, UTIs, COPD, COVID-19, and much more. It's really that simple. Go to dispatchhealth.com to learn more. And now, Dispatch Health has advanced capabilities to deliver IV fluids and even take x-rays in the home. It's really that powerful. Plus, they're affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicare Advantage. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay safe, and let Dispatch Health come to you.
So many people have told me about Orchard, and no wonder. It's the new way to sell. For example, Orchard makes you a cash offer for your home. And when your home sells for more, you keep the difference. No longer do you have to choose between an easy home sale or the best price for your home. Let me tell you about Rudy, a recent Orchard customer. Rudy's home sold on the market for $33,000 above his cap.
Had he gone to a home buying company, he would have missed out on that extra money. But with Orchard, he got more cash at closing. Rudy's story isn't unique.
What dealer did she say that was?
Customers sell on the market for more than their and get started is easy. Go online and enter your address at orchard.com. It takes just a couple minutes and lets you skip home listing hassles. If you're thinking about selling or just curious what Orchard would pay for your home, get a no-cost, no-obligation.
Well, by the time it sits overnight, though, that's
Orchard.
300.
By the time it's got finding great deals can be well. Trying to find a needle in a haystack, sure. You can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person.
Yeah, if you think of impressions,
you're
talking
about ZipRecruiter for free. That's
$10,000 to $12,000 a month.
Trial. 44 right now. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. They can be kind of the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com.
Unless if Jules puts them in timeout.
That's when I talk trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hi, everybody. Jack Morgan, voice of your Colorado Rockies. Join me
between 5 seconds and 5 minutes.
Jr. for the 2022 Sports Breakfast at Ball Arena.
What's the offense?
How many offenses?
It's April 6th from 7 to 9
a.m. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it just pops up.
Celebrities, and of course, hear from the Hall of Famer Cal himself. For more information, go to denverboyscouts.org/sportsbreakfast. Register to attend today.
This report is sponsored by Premier Members Credit Union. Beautiful Thursday ahead with temperatures in the low 60s, plenty of sunshine, and light wind right around 15 miles per hour is about the max for today.
It's going to be nice today.
Weather team meteorologist Kylie Murray.
It was pretty fucking cold though this morning.
Every detail of every mortgage transaction, not just your mortgage loan.
We had snow last night.
Join them at becomepremier.com. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender, and MLS 416701.
Something's going that way, and in the middle of the day, we might know about it.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, the real estate man, will do market valuations of your home for the asking. All you have to do is ask. Frank Duran, the real estate man.com. And it's a great valuation because it tells you not necessarily what an appraisal will say, but what he thinks he can actually sell it for, and he has stats to prove it. 303-920-1622. And there is no obligation there. So let's talk to somebody who came on as an expert, Justin Petty. He's with PettyDetailsLLC.com. We use him in situations where, let's say you get into an accident with your car, and even though they're fixing it, there's somewhat of a devaluation. It's called diminished value. It happens. I know when I'm looking at a car, if there was a serious wreck, I won't pay as much as if there wasn't. Then there's also just the times when you get your car totaled and the insurance won't get you a fair price. Now, we did not forget about Linda and her Hummer. We are trying to get a hold of Norris for his opinion on the phone with SOS Inspections. He also runs what's called usedcarcheckout.com to give us some ideas on what could happen. Right now, though, Mike, from yesterday, thank you, Mike, for coming back. We told you we'd get our expert. Did you tell me yesterday that your car was totaled?
Yes, it was.
It's a 2014 Ford Escape?
Yes.
93,000 miles. They're offering you $14,100, and you simply want to know, is it worth it? Can I get more? And you talked about transmissions. You put in a transmission, right?
Yes.
All right. I want to talk to Justin Petty, our valuation expert for cars. And Justin, I'd like to ask you just one question up front first. I hear this all the time when cars are totaled about a new transmission or a new windshield or new tires or a new this or a new that. Does any of that count toward the total valuation?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, depending on how recently the work was done, whether it's still under warranty, what exactly was done, yeah, those can affect the value.
Okay, so it's not just Whistling Dixie. It's something that you really should bring up. Okay, then what about finding out if they wanted to use you? What's the, you do a certain complimentary service, but then you do some charge services. What's complimentary with Petty Details?
So we look at everything for you, no matter who you are, and see if we can determine the value of the vehicle within a very close margin so that we can see, is it worth spending any money to fight with the insurance carrier?
So you'll do that free. Yeah. So you'll look at this $14,100 for the 2014 Ford Escape SE 93,000 miles, and you'll say, you know what, Mike, it might be worth $1,000 more, but it's probably not worth hiring an expert. Or you might say, wow, they're really lowballing you. Let's go after them.
Exactly. Yes.
So that's good news, Mike.
Good.
So they do a free valuation, just a ballpark here, to see if the insurance company is being fair with you. And if not, then you decide if you want to hire them. Now, if somebody does want to hire you, let's say they had a car totaled and there's a big chasm there and they need your help, what does that cost?
It's around $500. It's $50 difference if I have to actually manage the claim under a first-party claim. So depending on whether it's your own insurance company or somebody else's, it's either $500 or $550.
Okay, now, what about diminished value? If I think that this other party hurt me or I got a collision coverage with my own and I need to fight them for diminished value.
Yeah, it's the same. So what we're doing is charging for an appraisal, and so it's $500 for a diminished value appraisal. Those are not typically first party. There's only a few states where you can make your own insurance company pay you for diminished value.
Okay.
So those are normally $500. Yep.
Okay. So, Mike, what I suggest you do is just get an analysis from Justin and see what he thinks about that offer, that $14,100. And Justin, just for your information, that $14,100 did not include sales tax. Is that right? Is that right, Mike?
Right. Exactly.
But they did offer sales tax on top of that, right?
Yes, $1,500.
Okay, based on where you live.
Exactly.
Okay, so for those listening and want to get in touch with Justin Petty, You can go to our referral list. He's listed at referrallist.com. You can go to pettydetailsllc.com also. pettydetailsllc.com. All right. 303-713-TALK. So, okay, we have someone with us today, an expert we want to talk about. And it's an important one, I think, because I think it's saved my butt several times. SaferNet. Let's talk about SaferNet. Now, it's an easy concept. Are you on the app stores too, or do they go to safernet.com to download it?
They can go either place.
Oh, you're on the app store.
Yep.
Okay. For both Droid and Apple?
Yeah.
And, of course, PCs and tablets?
Yep, you can.
Surfaces, everything?
Everything, and they can go to the website under downloads or go to the App Store, either direction.
And explain in layman's terms what it is. It's an app, and it runs in the background.
So I like saying it's a little bit more than an app because you go online to create an account first so that you have something to connect your app to. So you've got to go online to safernet.com and create an account, and then you download the app onto each individual device that you'd like to protect.
And it's about a few bucks for each device you want to protect, but what protection do you get for that few bucks a month?
So what you get is a 24/7 VPN. Now, the reason I distinguish that...
A VPN, for those listening, a virtual private network, but it's unlike other networks you've heard about.
Exactly, because it runs 24/7 all the time. And most VPNs, you got to go in there and turn on your device and then turn on your VPN. And there's this period of time, especially if you're in a public network, that you're at a lot of risk. So our VPN starts and stops with your device as long as you have it turned on.
But also there's a certain number of controls you have for your kids if they're on your network or your employees.
Exactly.
Now, some bosses who have big companies out there, they might be worried that they're accused of spying on employees. That's not the case. You can't mirror what they're seeing.
No, companies all over the world are monitoring minute-by-minute activity on the Internet. That's just Internet controls. That's today's office.
Like if you work for someone, it's not unusual for them to monitor what you're watching.
Exactly. And there's a lot of reasons for that. They have certain rules involved. You might not be allowed to do social media or pornography or something at work. So they're going to intentionally block certain aspects of the Internet from their offices.
Okay, so what you do is if you want on your network to block certain sites, you can do it.
Absolutely. We have preset blocks that you can say, gosh,
I want to nix all adult sites.
Yeah. You can do adult, or you can do filter levels 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the most filter. 1 is the least filter, or you can eliminate all filters altogether.
Right.
And you can go in there, and there's 84 specific choices that you can design your own filter levels if you'd like.
Like what?
Oh, you can go in there. I have a lady that told me that we saved her daughter's life because she blocked beauty from her. And I'm like,
beauty?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But she was struggling with anorexia, and she was going online all the time comparing herself to everybody online, and she wanted to design something that made it so she could do her homework, but didn't put her into a place of jeopardizing anorexia.
So she wouldn't even get ads for that?
Well, she might get some of the ads, but she can't go digging any deeper.
Okay, what about okay, so this is an app that runs in the background. What's to prevent a kid or a member of your network from turning it off?
Passwords. So you would, as an administrator, you set it up so that
they can't turn it off.
They can't turn it off unless they get your permission.
We got more coming up. 303-713-TALK. Any and all problems, questions, and complaints.
I gotta say something when we come back. I just heard this news story, Tom. Listen to this. Washington Post. Pregnant people at much higher risk of breakthrough COVID.
Of what?
Listen,
pregnant people,
blah, blah, blah. They can't say pregnant women? Come on.
Hold on. Do you want me to go?
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. What the heck does that mean? That means that Ideal has everything you need to get the perfect loan. And I mean it. Because they have the interest rate guarantee. That alone is amazing. The interest rate guarantee. What it does is it will monitor your loan, and if rates go down by just 0.75% over 2 years, you know what happens? They refinance you free of charge to get the lower rate. So get the savings now, because still plenty of people can benefit, and then get the interest rate guarantee. And every time you close, you get another 2-year guarantee. They also have the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. You're approved. You're approved. Now, you go out and get a house, you appraise it, then you're ready to close. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. They have credit optimization as well. Why would you need that if you're already approved? Because they know you can be approved at a score of a 6-something, 7-something, but the higher your score, the lower your costs. So they might tweak your credit legally, ethically, and quickly to get you the best pricing there is. Ideal Home Loans, 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000 or idealhomeloans.com. First they listen, then they lend. Idealhomeloans.com. If you need advice on estate planning, I want to direct you to BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Blake Harris is our estate planning expert and attorney. He should be yours. What you can do is call him and ask about wills, ask about payable on death certificates for bank accounts, ask about beneficiaries' deeds, ask about anything you want. You might be facing a situation where you're going to probate, or you want a plan to avoid probate. You might want to trust. Anything you need, ask your questions, get your free answers. Then if you decide to hire him, he'll quote your prices up front. 833-ASK Blake. 833-ASK-Blake.
Now, Impact.
The computer just went blank, man. I've never seen that. Thank you.
Now on I-25, both directions between north.
Might need a little synchronous.
No slow traffic and good drive times. I-225 up to full speed as well. Checking I-70. Overall looking good between Aurora and Golden. Just clear direct westbound I-70 at Steele. Still some minor slowing in that area. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, sunny, a high of 61 today. Tonight's low 27. And then clouds move in for tomorrow with a high of 57. Currently, it's 51. With your Impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 6:30.
Hey, when are you heading?
Why would they do that? Picture this. You stand before the new signature stack burger menu at DQ. 5 cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef, loaded A1
Makes my wallet hit.
and your
It's
mouth
fucking
wonders
ridiculous.
where you found my life.
I feel that. It's like metal.
What is it?
It's a fucking credit card, but it's retarded.
Yeah.
That is too.
Yeah.
What is this one? Are they starting to do this on all of them?
Maybe it's protection against,
Look, his is like that too, though. What? Feel how heavy that fucking card is.
It started with the next platinum card.
It's so fat.
Maybe some kind of protection against RFIDs or something.
Oh, maybe material
Yeah.
itself. That's a good point, Doc.
Of course it is. I made it.
Wait till they start just implanting it in your face. So you just put your cheek down on the machine.
No, actually, that'll work when you walk through the door of the store. They'll know who you are, how much you got in your account, and how much you do buy.
And then everything you pick up, they automatically just bill you for.
Just bill you for it, okay? And then on your way toward the door, you've got all these things popping up. New board and post glasses. You mean Google glasses are back?
Facebook is making them now.
Okay.
Google glasses, I think.
What do they do?
So you can record something just by hitting buttons, and then you can post on your account by hitting other buttons. So it instantly
That's pretty cool, actually.
It's I think it's a foundational technology that will grow to a lot more happening. So I think, to your point, you might walk into a store and say, okay, I'd like to buy that.
Well, that's how your phone should be, really. Your phone should be part of your glasses, and the screens here almost like in my car. What's like a heads-up display, and calls coming in, you just fucking receive it. It doesn't seem that futuristic. I mean,
Just like when you got the earbuds, you always thought somebody was talking to you.
Time for
Now
something
somebody,
new,
you're
like
going to think somebody's
cleaning
looking
your
at you.
nose. After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs. The first line of defense against
Or worse than that,
bacteria
something they
and viruses
dislike on the
get
screen
into
and they
your lungs.
scowl up on you.
Clean your nose.
So you agree that the slap is more degrading than if they punched?
Well, Mark,
I don't forget. Don't bring this into some race shit.
No,
I'm saying a slap is pretty fucking degrading.
all right, let's go this way. In European history, a slap led to a duel.
Fuck yeah, with the glove.
All right, a slap led to a duel. So
to the death.
Yeah. So the open hand is definitely an insult. Yeah. If I put my open hand on
it's
you,
like throwing a fucking shoe at somebody.
That's it.
It is. I mean, it's fucked up. Remember when that lady threw a shoe at Bush years ago?
No, it wasn't a lady. It was a guy in Iran.
It was a dude?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't remember. It was either I think it was in Iraq.
Because I didn't realize what an insult that was in that country.
He does.
He would have been cool if he went.
Yep.
Or if he got caught.
That's what I mean. If he caught that shit, he'd be the man.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713.
Hey, Tom. This
8255. Yes, Deputy Doc.
This is the height of ridiculousness.
Go ahead.
There was a Washington Post article that said pregnant people are more likely to have breakthrough COVID. Now, I have to tell you, I may be a little bit of an expert on this. I've seen several thousand pregnant people, and 100% of them...
Can we say women?
Were women. Now, why can't the Washington Post say pregnant women are more likely to have breakthrough COVID?
Because women and men, man and woman, is an outdated term. They're pregnant people or people with testicles. I've heard that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
No, I'm telling you, I swear to God, it's outdated to say man or woman.
But it's crazy not to be able to say that.
Listen, they are now. By the way, just so you know this, don't interpret this as hate. Interpret this as what? Okay, they have with passports now. They're going to have an X option for gender. Here's what I want to know, because I have a solution. I swear to God for all of it. Why ask gender at all? Why even have it? Why even have it? What difference does it make on a passport? What difference does it make on a license? What difference does it make on an application? What difference does it make anywhere at any time to even ask for gender? Why? Why? And why ask for race? Why ask? Well, they stopped a lot of the asking of race, but why?
I'll tell you why.
Why? Okay, tell me.
Because if you identify as a woman, they don't want a male to pat you down, because then they get charged with sexual harassment.
Hold on. Nope. Here's what I think. I think we should erase all of that. We should, and I mean this, by the way, I'm not some super conservative nor super liberal. I am saying it is truly outdated to ask about gender. What frickin' difference does it make when I'm applying to college what gender I am? But I don't think anything
it makes sense.
No, where? In a medical thing it does.
Definitely.
With a doctor, yes. But like,
how about being insured? How about
it shouldn't, Mark. No, it shouldn't. That's what I'm saying.
Actual aerials.
I'm sorry. I think it's wrong to label people by their gender. And I mean that. I'm not saying, by the way, we should all not have a men's room or a ladies' room. I don't care about that. What I'm saying is this. I am saying we should not have gender being asked. It's irrelevant.
How about insurance where you're paying for maternity care if you're a male?
Okay, hold on.
There's lots of actuarials where one is higher than the other.
First of all, maternity coverage is spread out over everyone, male or female. Doc, so that has nothing to do with it. Okay? You can't think of one thing other than medical. If you're going to a doctor or a clinic, you should not. When on an airline, why do they care what my gender? Why do they care what my gender is? They should not care. I give them a name. I can give them a number. I can give them an address. Why do they need to know my gender?
Because of pat downs and sexual harassment.
Oh, you know what, Doc? That's stupid. That's not true at all. That is not true at all. They've been doing it way before we had TSA. Way before.
But right now, if you're a male, you're patted down by a male.
Okay. Are you saying that's the only reason?
I'm just saying that's one reason.
Then what they should ask is, what do you prefer for security personnel or when you're at the airport? You know what, Doc? I'm sorry. I totally disagree with you that they're asking about gender for the pat down. Come on. I've had both male and females do the wand on me and do the hand thing on me. Both of them.
Hold on. With airlines, first of all, that is regulated by the TSA, which are the same people that are trying to change all this. So I have no idea why the TSA mandates that aircrafts or airlines ask for it. I have no idea.
Okay, but doesn't it really, truly, rather than have, LBGYQT, do you know they added plus and something else? They added something else that's like, I don't even know what it means.
It's the whole alphabet.
No, I'm serious about it. Huh? Okay, there's something added. Oh, why not just have no gender at all? And I am not kidding. So, what does that mean? That means if you're at a bar or a dating app, if you want to date men, you put it down. You want to date men, you want to date women, or you don't go up and talk to someone. Or if you do, you know how many times I've talked to people at a place, a public place. It's not for dating, just to be friends. It turns out that person's gay. They never thought I was hitting on them. Never. It's just automatic. They don't know them. And by the way, if they were gay, I'm talking about when I was younger. If they were gay, you just say, oh, by the way, I don't go that way. I'm not gay. And there's no hate. There's nothing. Why do we have to label anyone? Why? I've never understood it.
You bring up a damn good point.
It's not that I mean we shouldn't have gender. I'm saying we can have whatever gender we want, and it's nobody's business. They shouldn't even ask.
Why race? Why do they ask race?
They shouldn't. That's my point. They should never ask that stuff unless it's critically important. Like, in certain medical things, they wanted to know my ethnicity, and that's because there are certain things germane to the area of Italy my family came from. With blacks, they ask for sickle cell and other things germane to that race or to that ethnicity. That if it's germane, ask it. But when I'm on an airplane, does it matter if it's filled with a bunch of men, women, people who don't know what they are or yet questioning or anything? What does it matter? It doesn't matter, and it's ridiculous. Now people are going to say, what about sports? I don't have an answer for that. Maybe if they did away with, here's what they did. If they did away with gender in sports, it would be a problem because females would never have a place to play basketball or to play football or to play soccer or to play tennis. Right. They wouldn't have a place. I know we get into this transgender thing with sports being unfair. I've never really delved into it. But I'm saying that even though you do hormone suppression, testosterone suppression, you're not, you can identify as a woman all you want, and I will respect that. I don't care. It's not important enough for me to get involved in that.
If you've gone through puberty as a male, it makes a huge difference, even after. Agreed?
No. What I'm saying is that you're still going to have a longer reach and stronger arms and bigger bones.
That's what I'm saying. If you've gone through puberty as a male, so that applies.
But why does it have to be you're hateful or you're discriminating? Why? Why does it even have to be that, folks? Okay, let me get to the phones, by the way, 303-713-TALK. Will, what's going on with you, Will? What's happening?
Hey, Tom, I don't know if you remember me. I was, back in December, I called you, and you referred me over to Michael Flantega.
Yes.
H&R Block.
Yeah.
Screwed up my taxes.
Yeah.
I owed $400,000.
Yeah.
Within 90 days, Michael got it all erased. No penalties, no nothing.
You know what that is? That's okay. Let's give where credit's due. That's LarsonTaxRelief.com. They're great people, and thank you for telling us that.
And then right behind that, I used Frank Duran.
TheRealEstateMan.com. Yeah.
Yes. And he got me a great price on my house. And I really appreciated everything he did.
Now, I'll bet you he did not list it as high as you thought he should at first, right?
No, we we were pretty stressed about that, but he got out of it what I wanted.
I know it.
And it worked out great.
He gets more, but people say, wait a minute, he's too soft. He just wants a quick sale. He put it too low, and he does it to get the bidding war going. I don't want to give up too much because it's his proprietary stuff. But Will, so you love Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, and you love my recommendation for LarsonTaxRelief.com, and I appreciate the call.
But doesn't that make sense? I don't know why. Why do we have to fucking have X and Y and Z?
Why do you think the TSA asked?
There's no reason. There's no reason to ask for gender about anything. Never.
As long as let's say
you're hiring somebody, it doesn't matter.
No, let's say you go through it and the buzzer goes off. Okay, they want to pat you down. They should get
this fucking guy would pat down.
No, let me finish. Then they should ask you, would you rather be patted down by a male or female? That's all.
Okay, more doesn't matter.
There's but.
Yeah, but then what? Then how about if I want to be patted down by a transgender?
Yeah, then you or.
Well, one of you guys.
Think about it. How much you gonna give someone?
One of you guys in here says TSA is creating transgender lines.
Okay.
Oh, no. I don't believe it.
No, because I would go on that because it's probably very.
But there's maybe in LA.
No, as long as they ask you that.
Hold on, guys.
I want you to look up ColoradoPainCare.com and find out why I rave about them. Well, just looking them up online will tell you a few things. First and foremost, that they have multiple locations in Denver metro area for you to visit. Second, they have hours from 7 to 7 for your convenience. And also, they have every kind of modality you would need to fight pain. ColoradoPainCare.com. They get me out of pain. They keep me out of pain. They can too for you. 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. All right. Investments come in all shapes and sizes. But if you're looking for retirement money, let me tell you about this site, mymoneymyway.com. That'll really tell you two basic strategies. Mymoneymyway.com can show you how to take a lump sum of cash, whether you build it up over your lifetime or you do it like rolling out a bank account or a life insurance policy, or maybe you roll out a qualified plan into this annuity and you have income for life. That's right. You buy income. You can do it slowly over your life, or you can do it in a lump sum. Now, you can also overfund life insurance. That's not the annuity. That's something else. And that grows tax-free in a cash value. I want you to find out about both strategies, mymoneymyway.com.
How long will this bull market last?
Okay, Are you financially prepared? I just never knew why. Because I look at that question and I think, why the fuck do you care what I have?
We are people. The same way about race, but the question that I would have is,
absolutely.
There's obviously something that they get out of it, and the way I see it is, if I can't figure it out, it's behind the scenes, and I want to know what it is.
Well,
why are they asking?
Well, for TSA, I think they're asking because they want your ID to match what they're looking at. They just want to make sure it's fucking you. That's the best example
by the way,
I can get.
The two, okay, now LB, there is the full abbreviation. Listen to this. Is LGBTQQIA. No, this is not a joke.
No, I know you're right.
Or Q2. So LGBTQ.
What's Q2?
2 plus. 2 plus. No, 2 plus is twin-spirited. I have no idea what it means, but it's
twin-spirited, baby.
No, but the Q is for queer.
Right.
Not Q plus. Q plus is twin-spirited.
There are 200 defined sexualities and genders.
Well, that's more than the alphabet. How are they going to fucking give them each a letter?
Well, that basically
raises the whole conversation.
And that's what they're talking about. I mean, that's their intent. I don't know who's intended it. I figure it this way. If you say you're colorblind, you're fucking bullshit.
There's some people that are.
No. Colorblind is no. You can't be colorblind. Why? Because you have to deal with people. Okay, and people come into the colors. Now you can carry yourself colorless. I can carry myself
or not let it define
color,
you. Right.
and not let it define me. But you cannot be colorblind. You cannot be
But
colorblind.
tell me, it's become a euphemism
Exactly.
for being non
Okay, but it's a bullshit euphemism, and the reason why, and the main reason why it's a bullshit euphemism, is that's one of the first things to come out of a freaking racist mouth. I'm colorblind.
I'm not arguing with you.
I'm serious.
That's what
You know what I do? I love diversity. I love the color. I love the different facial features. I love the different talk. I love the different culture. I fucking love it because it's not boring. You know, it's like all different.
It's not like a checkerboard.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but if you don't have predefined thoughts, depending on the richness, like what you're saying, I would say that's a way of that. In a way, that's colorblind. If you don't perceive, oh, that's a black guy, that's a woman, that's a Chinese guy, that's whatever, and if that doesn't set up different things in your brain,
here's what
I think in a way that is colorblind.
All it sets up to me is the last person I saw like that, and I'm thinking, I wonder if they're the same. Like when I see an Italian guy, I wonder, even though it's not race, I wonder, did he grow up like I did? That's what I wonder, because we laugh about certain things.
Because you already have a perception
about certain things. Yeah, with a black guy. Yeah. Because, oh yeah, you don't mess with mama. You know, certain things I hear people say. And with Italians and growing up in a Jewish family, it's that commonality you had growing up, and you think about things your mom used to say. It's not hateful, you know. It's just, and it's not even stereotypical. It's what the fuck you grew up with.
I know with Jews, if I'm hanging out with a bunch of Jewish people, I know if I say something in Yiddish, they'll forget it. If I said that to Talib, he probably wouldn't understand it.
Yeah, it depends on how much of my Yiddish I know.
How much of Yiddish do you know? Not a lot.
No, I know if you say it's Yiddish, you're talking Yiddish.
I have two words, though.
I think everyone knows.
What dreams Smith? What dreams Smith? The sexiest Jamaican nurse that went out with for 6 months.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. WaterPros.net is the best water system you can buy for the money. It's really because he does such low prices. Paul the Waterman, WaterPros.net. If you want like a water fountain, never buy bottled water again, under $1,000 fully installed. WaterPros.net. Free water tests too, by the way, for everyone. WaterPros.net. Okay, let's talk. We're trying to get a hold of SOS Inspections, Norris. Norris, if you're listening, man, you usually listen. Give us a call, please. We have a question for you, and we're trying to reach out to him. We also have with us in the house today, we have SaferNet. What the heck is SaferNet? SaferNet is an app that runs in the background and protects you, basically. Do you know if the pipeline had that? It wasn't the pipeline. When I say the pipeline, where was that hack where the government paid $11 million or billion, or what was it again? Can you recap that?
Yeah, it was the oil crisis, the oil refinery.
What happened? They were hacked all at once.
They were hacked, and really it's the same hack that happens across the board where you have these ransoms that come in and they cause these
lockups
downs
and encryptions of files.
Eliminates your ability to be able to access your data, and they say, hey, if you pay us this, we'll open that up again.
Now, the reason they open it up again when you pay is because they want that reputation of coming through for you. Otherwise, people wouldn't pay.
Exactly.
There are many hospitals that get hit, and they decide to pay it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At hospitals, governments, buildings.
Have you been successful? I know you're successful with the common man and with people and small businesses and families, SaferNet.com. Have you been successful at a hospital to say, we can save you millions in ransom if you get this?
Not yet, only because we've not gotten into a hospital yet. But if anyone would like to give us a try, I'd love to talk to you about putting together a plan for you.
303-713-TALK, and we'll and that's SaferNet.com. Okay, let's go back to the phones, and let's talk to Pat. Pat, what's going on with you, Pat?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. You had, let's put it this way, you had a roofer come over and give you an estimate or a contract or what?
Okay, yes, I found out about him through my son-in-law who did, I think, a neighbor thing.
Okay.
And he came through because I had a hot water heater problem as well.
Who's the roofer? Who's the roofer?
The name of the company is Blue Earth Construction.
And how? Okay, go ahead.
And the person that did the work was Stephen Holder.
Now, what are you going to complain about? You don't have to tell me the whole problem, but did they do you wrong, basically?
Oh God, yes.
Okay, how much have you paid them total so far?
For the roof, I paid them $4,950.
Okay, you hold on, and we're going to come back and talk to you about this and more. I'll help you get through the story, and we'll figure it out. I'm Tom Martino on the Troubleshooter Network, 303-713-TALK.
That's a cheap-ass roof. And I met Nick. I love this story. Came to America with 3
7 to 9.
He starts to hit the head, ladies and germs. Or to
Who used to say that? Was that Moon Girl?
With beautiful colors. And remember, the bathroom is always free. You have the kitchen done, and tear out and hallway is also free. Get a price on the phone, 303-386-5990. Excellent question. TheArtOfGranite.com. With a new year comes new ways to save big. Belco Credit Union is offering 1% APY on a 24-month CD on balances of $500 or more. That's right, 1% APY on a 24-month CD. To get that higher rate, you typically need to be in a longer term. Stop by Belco branch, call 1-800-BELCO-1, or visit belco.org/CD to open a CD online in minutes. Belco membership is required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA. Belco, banking for everyone.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter, mornings at 10, streaming live on our free iHeartRadio app and at khow.com.
ABC
News, I'm Victor O'Kenda. In Ukraine, fresh aerial strikes in the capital of Kyiv just days after Russia pledged it would recruit troops and military operations. ABC's James Longman is there.
We just heard an enormous explosion here towards the north of where we're standing. Deep, dark smoke rising into the sky. Now, we're not sure what's been hit. The Ukrainian authorities will be very keen not to talk too much about what might have been hit here, but until now, we have been talking over the last few days about a drawdown, possibly Russia moving away from Kyiv.
The war has driven up the price of gasoline, with the national average at $4.24 a gallon. Today, the White House confirmed President Biden will tap into the nation's strategic petroleum reserves to release up to 1 million barrels of oil per day for the next 6 months. The Labor Department says 202,000 people filed for unemployment benefits last week. This is ABC News. In recognition of Trained Visibility Day, the State Department announced applicants applying for U.S. passports will be able to identify with gender identity. The inclusion of the X marker will take effect April 11th. More documents will be available in 2023. Southeast Louisiana, including Greater New Orleans, hit by extreme weather twice in 1 week.
On the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, roads were blocked by trees knocked down by a possible tornado, even as residents of nearby St. Bernard Parish need repairs from last week's twister.
Put a new roof on this week on this part of the structure.
Nick Catalanado's home was heavily damaged in last week's tornado, and now
We're praying hard, trying to make sure it doesn't hit here. I don't think it can happen twice.
tornado watches today extend from the Florida Panhandle to southern Georgia. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Officials say the war in Ukraine could push the price of wheat flour up 15%, and a bird flu outbreak in several states could drive poultry and egg prices up 12%. ABC News.
Do you know what people search engines don't always get it right, and when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do if you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot, your good name, is too valuable.
Behind every spoiled daughter is a broke father.
To yourself.
I understand that. I used to say it like this. The boys, you should buy him a Volkswagen and tell him to go visit your girls. You must buy him a Mercedes.
Then I saw another meme. Having a daughter is like having a broke friend who thinks you're rich.
Never had the pleasure or experience of raising a daughter.
100 times.
I'm sure it's a lot harder than his son.
Oh, I don't know. At different times it is.
I never had a problem with Eric for the most part.
Oh, Miles was a little bastard around 17.
No, Mom, my daughter's way harder than Bonnie.
Yeah, but Bonnie's younger.
That's true, but only
you don't know yet.
Only a year. Only a year.
Ours are 2 years. They each had their year though.
A year and a half. They're like Irish twins. Is that what they call?
Commonly, this time of year, Colorado State climatologist and drought specialist Peter Goebel says over the long term, periods of dry and wet weather have been cyclical. The warmer temperatures than in the past seem to be linked to climate change. That means they expect
Yeah, sure. Everything's linked to everything's linked to climate change.
Or
Everything.
Trump. Or Trump.
Or Trump.
Or Biden. It's somebody's fault.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Well, if it's Biden's fault.
By the
it's
way,
Biden's Trump.
what's really fun is that they're actually picking up on the Hunter Biden thing now.
Yep.
Even CNN is.
Oh man, they might get him on tax evasion. That could be a real deal. That's jail time. And if they get him on it, and they fucking put Wesley Snipes in jail and Martha Stewart and all these other people,
Martha
they
Stewart
better
wasn't
put his
tax-
fucking.
She wasn't tax evasion.
Well, it's inside info. It all comes down to tax evasion.
Well, no, not with her. It wasn't tax evasion. She paid tax on it.
It was inside trading.
It was inside trading. She claimed it wasn't though, but she took the deal,
But
so it was.
Well, actually, it really was very subtle. The guy told her, man, this come blah blah, this coming soon, this. She sold. And she didn't know. A lot of people don't understand inside trading, man. I mean, it could be something very innocent. You're talking at a bar to a friend who has a cousin who works there.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of shit doesn't happen often, but yeah, it could.
But it could.
And here's the deal. What are you fucking supposed to do? Take the loss? I mean, if you hear from your brother who works there,
yeah, but you
that's
gotta
what I
have.
understand.
It has to be. It can't just be like an employee or something. If some sales rep at iHeart said, "Oh, I'd sell iHeart stock right
No,
now,"
that's
if you
not
own
it. No,
none of that shit would matter.
No, that does not matter.
But the fucking CFO gives you some inside shit, like, "Hey, we're dumping the Denver region next month."
Mm.
Like, who gives you that?
The CFO.
Oh. And you have stock?
You have stock.
Yeah.
My ass is you better not sell it. Which is kind of weird too, because how would you argue, well, I would have sold that anyhow, you know what I mean?
Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk stations on Twitter. Find us right now.
I didn't realize that UTIs in older people
Makes them loopy and a big dog.
well, it can make them literally appear to have a stroke or be like senile.
Yes, it makes them crazy.
Yeah.
It's literally
Why
makes them
is that?
I don't know, but you can see it.
But why doesn't it do it in young people?
I don't know.
What's that, UTIs?
Yeah. Some people, they think you're having a stroke and it's a UTI. You take medicine and in an hour.
Well, I know. Yeah.
Why is
I
that?
wonder why.
I don't know.
And I have gone.
And what's your definition of older people? Is it
Like 70?
I've seen a
Oh,
lot
wow.
of people with UTIs. I never saw that as a sign.
No, because you didn't treat older.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is Tom, brought to you by RenewHomeInnovations.com. Renew Home Innovations will give you a beautiful bathroom by transforming that old shower tub into a beautiful rectangle shower if you want, with no threshold, perimeter drains, grab bars, shells, whatever you want. You customize it for your movements. Or, of course, you can do a tub-shower combination, but a newer one, a beautiful one, or a separate tub, separate shower. They can do it all. They can do it the next day sometimes. Started, I mean. No supply chain problems. Call Renew Home. Special pricing for seniors and for veterans. And by the way, right now, Nick told me he's going to offer, for those who call and mention me, he's going to offer 50% off installation labor in addition to their low prices. 50% off installation labor. 303-904-2000. 303-904-2000. RenewHomeInnovations.com. So let's talk. What's going on? All right. Pat says she's having terrible problems with the roofer, but let's just dissect this. And as they say in the psychological world, we'll unpack it. But here's what's going on. Pat, you called Blue Earth Construction. Now, I want to ask you something. In addition to the roof, you had them do other work too?
They did a hot water heater job for me and did a great job. The only problem with that one is that they took out half of my hallway of the carpet pad and has not replaced it.
How much did they charge you for the water heater?
Oh my gosh, Tom, I had all that information somewhere in a pile and I cannot find it right now.
All right. Listen. They also did a water heater, though, right? Okay. Did they do anything else?
Regarding the hot water heater?
No. In your house. The roof and the water heater. Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Now, what did they do wrong on the roof? Why are you upset? You've paid them $49.50. Was that, by the way, is $49.50 payment in full, or do you still owe?
No, it's in full.
Okay. So tell me what's wrong with the roof?
Okay. On my roof, I had some leak spots that when it would rain or snow, it would come down right in front of my home instead of running along the deck, the roof over the deck. And so I needed to get that fixed.
Now, are you saying the leaking was on the outside, like it was bypassing the gutters?
It didn't even get to the gutters. It was right at the big. It was the seal that was above where the deck connects with my mobile home.
Okay, so it's hold on. It's a mobile home, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So what happened was, the flashing, that's called, usually there, but okay. So the roof used to leak where the porch meets the trailer.
Right, and let me add one thing. You remember about a year ago, March, when we had that terrible snowstorm?
Yes.
Okay. When I came home, because I was in Brighton watching my granddaughter, when I came home, I was stuck there a couple of days because of the weather. When I came home, my roof had caved in.
Now hold on.
Why I had to get it fixed.
Okay, your roof caved in. Okay, so that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so they supposedly fixed it. I still don't know what you're upset with them about.
Because after they fixed it, the first time that we got some rain or snow, with whatever one, they supposedly did a water check on it. Well, after the first rain, and I have pictures still on my camera to prove this. I have not erased anything.
After the first rain, what happened?
It leaked all along. Instead of in a couple spots, it leaked all along the trailer.
Okay, when was this work done?
Oh my God. Okay, they did it the end of August and beginning of September. I made a payment like on 8/30 or something like that, and then another payment on September 5th.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, so hold on. Got it. I got it. What I want to know is this. Okay. What do you want?
I want my money back because I had to call another roofing company to come out and fix the job. This man
hold on. Wait. How you called another roofer? Who did you call?
Bulldog Roofing at Kevin Kirkpatrick. They did a great
How much
job.
did they charge you?
$1,754.93.
1,700?
Yep.
Why did
I want that money back from the other company.
Hold on. You want the 1,700 back?
I want the $1,754.93 back.
I agree with you. Hold on.
Did you give them the opportunity to come out, though? Did you ask them to come out and fix it?
Well, Tom, I did a couple times, but by Stephen, I was called a couple bad words and told to blank off. And I have that in my phone.
I know, but hold on. So when you called to ask them to come out and fix it, they said blank off. So how'd you get Bulldog's name?
Well, I had kind of looked it up and stuff, but because I got referred about the hot water heater, he did a good job on that. I went that way. I originally wanted to go with Bulldog Roofing, but I catered to Stephen Holder and got messed up really bad.
Okay, so listen, we can call Stephen Holder for you. It's a very simple story. They never fixed the roof.
Basically, no, they didn't fix the leak. I had the same problem.
I got it.
He said that we did a walkthrough. We did not.
Well, hold on. Even if they did, what difference does it? Even if they did, what difference does it make? What difference does it make? They still have to come back if it leaks. It doesn't matter. Don't get hung up on the walkthrough, please. Deputy Doc, we should call the guy. Yeah. We should call him and say, listen, this person spent $4,950 with you. She had to spend $1,700 to correct it because you wouldn't come back.
Hey, Doc, why don't you talk to Bulldog, too, and ask them what they did to fix it, and ask them if it was something the other company messed up.
Or was it extra?
Good idea.
Good idea. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Justin, what's happening in your life, Justin? Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. So it's returning calls from the last time. I got another incident with Park It Right and Joel Perry and one of his representatives specifically.
Now, tell me something. Now, hold on. Park It Right. I just want to tell people what it is. Park It Right is a company that boots cars on private property. And by the way, I just want to make this very clear. I don't have a problem with private operators of parking lots hiring Park It Right to boot cars. I have no problem with it. But they have to do it legally and the right way. And the cases we've looked into, Park It Right does not do it the right way. They don't warn people. They don't have proper signs. Many of the parking lots are not labeled to where people can and cannot park. So it leads to confusion. Also, we've heard people get charged for keeping the boot or destroying the boot when they didn't do anything to the boot. And so I think in general, Park It Right is a scumbag company. But again, the model, there's nothing wrong with the model if it was done correctly. So what do you have to say about Park It Right today?
So today, let's see. Label this right. So my two guests, they registered according to the website so they could park. They registered their cars. They got approval emails, confirmation emails. Sometime later, they got denials after we were all asleep. They were booted at 1 a.m.
Now wait a minute. Why? Hold on. What do you mean they registered? What does that mean? So when you have a guest, they have to register at the office?
They have to register online. There's a website.
Okay. Why do they have to register?
It's part of I guess it's part of the HOA's.
And only hold on.
The parking enforcement.
If I was coming there, Justin, to visit you for an hour or two, would I have to register?
No, between 10 o'clock at night and 7 in the morning, all guests have.
Okay, so two guests registered online to stay overnight.
Yes.
Okay.
They were
and what do you mean? What do you mean they were denied? What does that mean? They can that place has the right to say you can't have overnight guests?
So this is where it gets to. So they both got confirmation emails. Sometime later they got denials. Then they were booted. Now what they're trying to say is
no, but I don't understand.
I'm right now I'm getting to it, Tom. So what the emails say is that they exceeded the amount of times that guests could stay, and that is not in the HOA rules. That's where the problem is.
Okay, but Justin,
I got the rules from you.
Justin, you're really not answering my question, but I'll go right back to you.
Really answering my question, and that is, when did the denial come?
And how do they know
Feel
how
like
long
we're
you're
at
gonna
work.
After they checked, after they checked the license plate, they found out that this is a business
But then, when you're talking to your
11
friends about
times,
things you're truly
and that
interested
business
in and
only lasts
passionate about,
10
you
times.
sound like you're alive, loving
That's
every moment of it.
what he said.
Well, I don't know. That's podcasting.
With
See, I
Spreaker
might
from
be
iPhone,
saying
it's the easiest way to
too many
podcast and get paid for it.
exceeded their length.
Head over to Spreaker.com.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Spreaker and start your voyage from
You know, we heard of a roofing problem on this show just now. You know what I'm going to tell you? You won't have a roofing problem if you hire my friend Jay Bretz at Excel Roofing. Oh, I know it's all about business and doing it right and treating people right, and Jay does that, but it goes beyond that for Jay and I. I know Jay personally. We had our kids around the same time. They're still buddies. And I want to say something. I know how he runs this company, and it's exactly the way I would run it. No money up front, not a penny. He will do the job quickly and efficiently, and he'll do a great job. He knows the entire roof system. His crews are there to help you. He has a project manager on every job dedicated to you. Excel as in excellent. ExcelRoofing.com, 303-761-6400, and they do repairs too. So call Excel Roofing. Whether it's an insurance job or you're getting ready to sell or roof inspections, 303-761-6400, ExcelRoofing.com. If you're looking for a loan, I like to talk about ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. What makes them ideal? The number one thing is the interest rate guarantee, I think. I mean, listen, people are wondering what a rate's going to do. Well, if you can get any kind of a savings right now, take it. And then if rates go down, you still get refinanced free of charge. That guarantee is for 2 years. And every time you close, you get a 2-year guarantee. Now, in addition to that, there are many other things, like pick your own term loan. You don't have to go back to 15 years or 30 years. You can pick whatever term you want. They also have a pre-approval, which puts you at par with a cash buyer because the money's set aside, you're approved, you're just waiting to find a house you can close within days. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next ideal home loan. First they listen, then they lend. And that means a lot because they try to pick the best loan for you. 303-761-6400, ExcelRoofing.com. I like when you can call a company on the phone and get a price. TheArtOfGranite.com. You can call Mitch Floria and say, hey, I'm thinking about this kitchen job, and they'll tell you what they can do for your countertops and cabinets. By the way, when it comes to countertops, they do granite, quartz, marble, any stone, any natural stone, also any man-made material. So let's just say any countertop. They charge wholesale on those materials. They tear out and haul away the old kitchen free, and they do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. So get your price on the phone from theartofgranite.com. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation. Worse.
Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold
Oh my
IRA
God.
through Birch Gold.
So,
Only company
men with small penises have a higher rate of UTIs. Mark, you must be a fucking miserable person.
I have never had a UTI in my whole life.
Honest to God.
Have you ever had a UTI?
Yeah.
You really have? I didn't even think men got UTIs.
Now listen, most commonly it's because...
Have you had one, Talib?
I've had one.
You have, Doc?
Yeah.
I didn't think men got them.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah.
Was you a check infection?
Forgot, yeah.
Oh, forgot. It is a thing.
Women get them all the time, don't they?
Yep. Women and old people. Older people get them regularly. Sometimes, you know.
Is there a preventive? Do you just put somebody on? Can you get on something so you don't get them?
No. You fucking stay clean.
That's the whole deal, right?
That's what I think.
I think women, though, I think yeast infections lead to
all of that stuff. But but that's back to the same thing. All the people that I've seen, and I've literally, when I was in LA escorting my dad, I'd be in and out of different facilities talking.
Pardon me, Tommy, what am I doing with Pat and the roofing issue?
I'm going to call her.
You're going to call her?
Yeah, just get me her.
Do you want me to put it in IM?
Yeah, that'd be great.
In Messenger?
Maybe they're acting crazy and stuff like that. And they check them out. Hit them with some antibiotics. An hour and a half later, they are absolutely flat.
So you guys are taking me to Parker later to meet my kids because my car's in the shop.
How are you going to get your kids up?
Dolce drives.
Oh, that's
and then
great.
she'll take me home.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. There are some perks to having a daughter who's spoiled. You know.
SD, so you're getting them regular, not them UTIs. You ought to keep your head out of smelly places.
What's wrong with it now?
What's
wrong with the car now?
The driver's side air, the driver's side, the seat, the air conditioning was turning off. Overheating. No, I don't know why, but it's the driver's side air, not the heat.
And how do you know that?
Well, I
Did you
turned it
use
on.
it?
Yeah, I turned it on to test it because I'm selling it.
Yeah, I got you.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for your garage door needs. I can't say enough about One Clear Choice. What a fine run company. They'll be out 24/7 to fix your garage door if you have an emergency. Or, of course, they can fix any component on the door, give you a whole new door or a whole new opener. And by the way, all of their prices at oneclearchoicedoors.com. oneclearchoicedoors.com. Okay, so Justin says his car was, his friend's cars were booted. Now, I'm not a big lover of Park It Right, but I will say this. They have a procedure. Justin knew about it. They had to register online to stay overnight. They registered. They got a confirmation they were registered, then later on got a denial saying they exceeded something, the time limit. Justin, I want to ask you something. Do they mean when they said the guests exceeded their time, do they mean too many nights they spent there in the past, or do they mean too many hours in that night?
Too many nights.
Okay. Like, do you have a limit to how many nights a guest can stay?
Not in the HOA rules, but the parking enforcement is trying to say that there is.
Now, when you say HOA rules, are you renting from an individual or are you owning? Do you own it?
I'm renting from an individual.
Does that individual own that unit? So it's not an apartment complex or a complex where you have a landlord for all of them?
Yes, it's an individual.
Okay. So do many individuals rent their places out in that complex?
I'd say the majority.
So, but they're all individually owned, you're saying, or maybe an owner might own 2 or 3. But okay, so it's pretty much a rental complex, but people rent from individual owners.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, the HOA would rule. Okay? In other words, there is no apartment complex rule. It's the HOA rule. And you're saying nowhere in the HOA rule does it say you can only have guests for 4 nights in a row, or you can only have guests for a cumulative total, the same guests for a cumulative total of a certain number of days, right?
Yes.
As a result, they towed or they booted the cars. How much did it cost your guests?
So they booted the cars. We removed the boots and returned them to their station. We did not pay the $350 that they would normally charge.
No, how did you remove? Hold on. How did you remove the boots if you didn't pay?
We just took them off and put them over on the station.
But how do you take them off without destroying them? I thought you had to get a code to unlock them.
You do.
Well, how did you do it?
They were. I just got to say that they were removed, Tom, and they were not damaged.
Well,
but they were removed,
Justin,
and they were returned.
They can't be removed without being damaged. So you have to tell me how, or I can't help you. I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, no, I understand, but I'd have to go back, and I think I sent it in the email that I sent you. I believe there's pictures of them that they're perfectly fine.
That's not what I'm asking, Justin. But
trying to say that I cut the chain.
Justin,
their accusation is that I cut the chain.
How did you get them off?
I took them off.
The code.
Excuse me.
I don't. He's on talking about it.
Listen, the reason I'm asking is this, Mark.
If he did, first of all, what he did was wrong, even though what they did was wrong.
We've done it.
Mark, that was a totally different one.
I'm just saying.
Mark, it was totally different. Totally different. You can't even compare them. This particular, we did that on purpose to prove a point, and we purposely cut it off.
And
we didn't even make qualms about cutting it off.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is we were upfront about it. He's not. Okay, but here's what I'm saying. They're going to try to get money from you for the parking and for the destruction. You want to countersue because they shouldn't have done it to begin with, but you screwed yourself. What you should have done is pay it and then go after them for an illegal tow. But I'm going to say something, Justin. I don't know of any HOA anywhere that does not limit the number of nights third parties can stay. So I hesitate. I didn't say I don't. I hesitate to believe there are no restrictions in the covenants or HOA rules. I hesitate to believe.
Can I send you the rules?
Yeah.
I would send them to you right now.
You can. Also, you got to send me the covenants too, though. Not just the HOA. Well, you have HOA bylaws. And then you have covenants and restrictions. Those are both. Now, listen, here's what I'm going to tell you we're going to do for you. We're going to read the covenants and restrictions and the bylaws and determine if we agree with you, they should not have towed your friends. Okay, if we agree with you, we'll help fight for you, but no matter what, you went about it the wrong way. No matter what, you went about it the wrong way because you were supposed to pay it and sue them for it. Now they have a counterclaim against you. Whether it's true or not, they have a counterclaim. I don't know how you go about now suing them for the tow when it didn't cost you anything. So I don't even know what we can do because it didn't cost you guys anything. So right now you have to defend yourself. We can't defend you. All we can do is go after unjust collections, like if they took a tow fee from you. What if we determined they should have never booted you, right? Okay. The argument is they should have never booted you, therefore you shouldn't have to be charged to remove the boot. But it doesn't mean you were okay in removing it. What were you going to say, Mark?
Well, I kind of look at this a little different. If I go over to your house and boot your car with my boot in your driveway, I would say you have every right in the world to do whatever the hell you want with that boot. I'm just making an argument, that's all.
Right. And that's true if it wasn't a civil matter. Because I went to the house and booted a car and I had no business doing it. In this case, they're claiming a civil agreement. They're claiming they have an agreement with residents that residents will not have guests over more than a certain number. You're disagreeing with that. This is not something where you say, oh, some stranger just booted my car. This is a case where you have a civil disagreement. And because of that, the way it's properly done is you sue for damages. But you can't because you did the damages first, according to them. I'm not agreeing with them. I'm just saying, what do you want right now, Justin? What do you want? We can't go and collect your fee because you never paid it. What do you want?
So I need help. That's the thing is, I'm not feeling like
Justin, what kind of help? What kind of help?
In other words, if you haven't paid them a nickel,
what help?
What do you want?
Yeah, in other words, had you paid the money, we would have helped you collect that money back.
So what I'm saying is, like, everything I just told you is an example of what they've been doing. They did it to me before. Last time I called in, they booted me unjustly. All I'm saying is right now is they're making rules that they're trying to enforce and extort people, and this is what they're doing all over
but
their
you
complex.
There's
boots laid off all over the place.
Okay, then what you people need to do is get together. The owners, the renters can't. The owners have to get together and vote them out. That Park It Right is not correctly enforcing the laws.
Do you recall, Tom, if they fall under PUC rules? I don't think they do. I think they kind of found a loophole.
I actually don't remember, but I do know this. The guy has a shady past, and he's scum. I don't love him, but what I'm telling you, Justin, is you guys got to get together as a group.
Are they threatening to charge you money now? Is that what you're afraid of?
Yeah. Are they coming after you?
They keep sending me these. They keep sending me these invoices for. Let's see. So So they're sending it to me, and they're threatening to put a lien on my landlord's property. They're sending me an invoice for light duty violation $185, damaged chain. A damaged chain $250. A collection fee of $250.
So the total.
There's one for each of my guests.
What is the total bill for each guest?
$685.
For each?
Yes.
So
for a damaged chain.
So $1,400 you're looking at.
That's it. Okay, so where does it stop there? Let's look at this reasonably. Let's say the guy cut the chain off, and it's a chain you can buy anywhere for $5. At what point, I mean, can they say you owe me $500,000?
Well, Mark, I mean, no, it has to be conscionable.
I mean, does that seem conscionable for a chain? These are the same morons,
Mark,
that charge that other person.
No, it's him for the sticker.
For the freaking sticker.
Aren't you the one with the sticker?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, he put a sticker.
$25 for returning their sticker.
Yeah, but listen, man, here's the thing. I agree with you that they're probably taking advantage of the neighbors and all that. You just went about it the wrong way. So I can't stop them from trying to collect that money.
These are the ones, these are the kind of guys.
They have a right to avail themselves to the courts.
These are the people, though, that drive me insane. Listen, I don't care if somehow they are doing this legally. I think what would be nice if the owner lives somewhere in Colorado, that all the people that he has screwed just show up to his house and picket in front of his house. It is absurd to charge someone that much money for a chain and a sticker. The guy's a creep, in my opinion.
No, of course he is, Mark. We've established that. And I never uttered the words they're doing it legally.
I know. It's just
what I'm saying is no, he went about it the wrong way. He gave them ammunition. What he should have done is not given them ammunition. He should have sued them for the immobilization of the car and the losses. Yes, Suze.
Martin from Cast Iron Recovery says he can call the PUC and complain.
Well, that would be good, Justin. Call the PUC. But here's what it's going to come down to. Here's what it will come down to. What do the HOA and covenants say? Your owner has a copy of both. And I promise you, Justin, if it turns out they're like 99% of all other covenants, they're going to say that third parties are limited. I promise you.
God, I hate that guy.
I do too. I hate him. But Tom, I think
I'm a little jealous he came up with a way to tow without any of the expense of towing. I'm a little jealous of his business plan.
But
it is remarkable.
It sounds to me like Justin's saying he didn't damage the boots. That's what.
No, but he's acknowledging he cut the chain.
Oh,
you can't get him off. Yeah, he cut the chain.
Oh, he did cut the chain.
Well, no, he hasn't said it.
But here's the thing: you cannot get them off without doing.
We had to zip it off.
That's what it sounds like.
We went down to one, grabbed it on a tow truck, brought it to a shop, removed the boot. Then I personally brought the boot back to the apartment complex. And we did it all live on Facebook. We had thousands of people watch this. Just one?
Mark, did you hear
Hold on.
It's been inducted into the Aqua 100, the highest honor in pool and spa retail. Committed to customer service and community involvement have earned them this prestigious recognition. See what makes Spa Palace the exceptional choice. Visit spapalace.com for locations.
You know, Suzanne and I are getting ready to go on a long RV trip, and I'm looking so forward to it. Of course, we're going to be remoting into the show. You won't even know we're gone unless we're talking about it. But one of the things I want to tell you, when you're on long road trips, you need a good service department to check out your rig or your trailer, your fifth wheel before you go. You need someone that can fix it. The guys at Century RV are right about ready to open up their brand new service department up in Longmont. It's going to be unbelievable. We're talking they can work on Class A's, Class B's, Class C's, fifth wheels, pop-ups, trailers. They have it all. They have the highest, most technology out there when it comes to a service department for an RV place. Check them out at CenturyRV.com. By the way, they have more inventory of new stuff than anybody else. CenturyRV.com.
How long are you going to be gone?
We're doing 6 weeks, or right around 38 days. Wow. 7 times 6, 35. We are going. Tell you exactly where we're going. Hold on.
Anybody want a water?
I just got one to leave.
Doc?
No, I'm good, thank you.
You good?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm really looking forward to this, man. We did during COVID, 20 COVID.
Oh, really?
We did about almost a month, but we did the other way. We hit Vegas. Those were we spent
The mountains.
Where are you going?
Stayed a lot of time.
We're going southeast.
I'm pulling it
So
right.
we're going to like Ozarks, down to Louisiana, Alabama,
Oh, cool.
Florida, Hilton Head, Nashville.
Have you been to those places before?
Not Nashville, not Hilton Head.
Hilton Head I love. We used to go there
Yeah,
a
I've
lot.
never been, and I really been wanting to do Nashville. That's been on my bucket list for some live music.
All right, so we're doing Wilson, Kansas, 1 night. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 2 nights, just because we know people. Ozarks, we're going Lake of the Ozarks, Table Rock for 5 nights.
That's going to be awesome.
This pecan orchard in Louisiana for 1 night. Bella Terra RV Resort, which is gorgeous. Alabama, 5 nights. 1 night in Florida on the way to Hilton Head. Hilton Head, we're doing a full week. And then, one of my favorites, Mountain Falls.
Oh, yes, North Carolina.
Toxaway, North Carolina. Absolutely the most gorgeous park I've ever seen. And then Charlesville in Clarksville, Tennessee for 5 nights, another gorgeous one. St. Peters, Missouri, 3 nights. And then basically back home.
Wow.
Well, then one of these days I'm going to make him do a wine country one. Oh, that
My
would be
favorite place.
I can afford it right now.
He just took his wife to Napa Valley for her birthday. They had a good time.
It was amazing.
My favorite place in the whole world is Lake of the Ozarks.
I love Lake.
I've never been there. But when I was 17, my mom and dad took a vacation with the other 4 kids on my plate, and I was home alone for a week.
What's that guy's name on 9 News? Kyle what? Kyle Clark? No.
Kyle Clark, yeah.
Is it?
So, did you get in any trouble at all?
Not with my parents, no. I didn't get anybody pregnant, but it was the best week of my life. That's why I love Lake of the Ozarks. I mean, I had 4 siblings, so to be alone for a week, even if I just stayed by myself and didn't have any parties, it would have been great. But at 17, to be alone for a week was just fantastic.
Now, did you ask for that, or did your parents say, no, you're staying home?
No, they said, do you want to come with us? I said, I have a lot of schoolwork to do, Mom.
Wink, wink.
Right, I have a project. My mom was so cool. So we get the cops ring the doorbell. I had a whole bunch of unpaid parking tickets. Said, is your son home? So my mom was there saying no, because he's upstairs sleeping. So she comes upstairs, she gets me. They literally put me in a paddy wagon, drove me down to 100 Center Street in Manhattan to pay my tickets, and then I had to take the subway back home. But she could have said no. But it was my first time ever in a paddy wagon.
That's fun. So how do you do the internet while you travel? Do you use satellite internet, or how do you do that? I mean, to run this as live.
I have a call holding, and I think you'd want water pros for it.
The biggest thing now is 5G.
She's considering a Halo 5 system, and I said, I don't think Tom likes those.
I can use the phone as a hotspot, or I have a router.
I was going to, you want me to do that now, or you want me to wait a little bit here?
Generally what we have.
Okay, and then park it right. You're done with that, or you're not?
I got a failover, so
okay.
If it's connected to Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi is strong, I'll be connected through Wi-Fi. If the Wi-Fi starts wavering, the 5G
well,
takes over.
I did get the money back on that. Remember, they sold that lady a crazy.
I'm not looking forward to gas though, man. Do the math. I got 165 gallons, completely full. Times what? What's the average going to be? 470 a gallon.
I'm paying $3.75 a gallon.
It's diesel.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Look, I want to make it clear, I'm not a fan of Park It Right. But I'm not sure this is a Park It Right issue today. Now, Park It Right, for those listening, they contract with private parking lots. And their proposition is this. If a car is unauthorized or illegally parked on your private property, we will put a boot on it that has an electronic lock or some kind of lock. And in order for that person to move their car, they have to call us and pay the fine. Then what we do is give them the code. Then they unlock it and return it. If they return it damaged, we charge them. If they return it, and they return it, by the way, to that apartment complex. That's how they do it. My only issue, I mean, I don't like the guy from his past and all that. But here's my only issue with Park It Right. Is if they do it legally, meaning this, there's got to be clear warning and clear places to park. What pisses me off about these private lots is that they do not clearly show where people can park and can't park, and there's no sign telling them where to call or no tow signs saying your car will be towed or immobilized. Now here's the deal. That is my main problem, okay? My main problem. The other problem is they seem to claim damages to their boots when there are no damages, and it seems like they're just trying to get some extra money. But in Justin's case, he took it upon himself to remove the boots. Did he damage it? I don't know, but he gave them ammunition to go after him for collection or to go after his friends. Now, I'm not saying they should pay it. I am just saying they muddied the waters. The better way to do it is to say you should not have booted my car, because Justin's argument is not the boot, but the reason for the boot. And what was the reason for the boot? The reason was, according to the HOA there, or according to the people who manage the property, the argument is you cannot have unrelated parties stay at your place more than a certain number of days. And apparently, Justin's guests stayed there too many days. Now, Justin will say, I was never told that rule. It's nowhere in writing. If that's true, then I agree with him. He should have never been booted because there is no written rule saying he violated it. But he did not give himself a chance to do it the right way.
These folks have been in trouble so many times, it's crazy. Just last year, Park It Right booted this lady's car. The next night, because she didn't realize it was booted, they actually towed it, Tom. She said there was nothing, no signs, nothing. Just like when
I agree. I agree.
Hold on. Here's
Justin, hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
She went to court. A judge said, you're right. Give the car back. They refused to give the car back even after the order because they appealed the case. They kept her car during the entire appeals. Guess who got involved at that point to look at it? Polis, our governor.
What happened then?
I'm telling you, I don't know what ended because it all happened last year, but I'm reading the story from Denver 7. These guys are no good in my opinion.
No, I agree.
They suck, and the guy sounds like he's trying to shake people down.
I agree. But what we really need to see, Justin, are the covenants and the bylaws. Did you call your landlord and ask your landlord?
I sent the email. I sent a copy of to your guys' email. You should have them already. I got the laws specifically from the HOA management company. They sent it to me.
Stu, do you have it?
And then all the emails. So if you look at the email, it's there.
Yeah,
but nothing was damaged. Like I sent it to you guys.
Justin, hold on.
He's so off track.
Justin, would you understand? The issue is going to boil down to their authority to do it. But even if you're 100% right, and they were not allowed to boot you, you have no damages. Now,
so really quick. So this is where I'm going. So I'm not the only one they're doing this to. There's a whole complex of people they are doing this to. This situation is just proof that they are making up their own rules and trying to put them on people and trying to extort people for rules that they're making up. If you look at the emails, what they're trying to say isn't not in the HOA rules. They're making up their own rules, Tom.
The owner, resident, family, or guest, just wait. The owner or guest or whatever shall be parked in such a manner as to shall be parked in such a manner as to impede or prevent ready access. I don't even understand. It says shall be. They even wrote this wrong. No, it says, okay, no vehicles shall be parked. Okay, got it. To impede, blah, blah, blah. Okay, park your car, head in, blah, blah, blah. Got that. All parking rules apply to carports as well. Okay, no parking is allowed at any time behind carport. Okay, the speed limit for all the driveways and parking lot lanes is this much. And then please have your loan. And they say street drives, no abandoned, blah, 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 no commercial vehicles. But do you understand? See, this is where you're not understanding me. You sent me rules about cars. You did not send me rules about people. Because if a person is not allowed, their car is not allowed. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I am saying that you need to find out about the towing.
So Tom, if I could really quick, and if you look in the emails that I initially sent, the registration is for the cars. They approved the cars 24 past, and then they went back and denied them. They're not saying that a person can. What they're saying is the violation is of the cars being parked. So it is. So that's why I sent you the parking. Okay,
I get your reasoning. You're saying they're not claiming that person exceeded their number of nights. Are they saying the car exceeded their number of nights?
So what the rule that they're trying to say is that no car can register more than 3 times in 7 days.
And they're okay.
That's what they're citing.
Okay.
That's the rule they're trying to cite.
And there is no rule to that effect, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you then, if that's true. Now, if that's what they cited, did you send me what they cited?
I can send, actually, if you look in...
that's what I need. But here, I'm going to ask you another thing, and I know... okay, let's say you're 100% right. 100% right. Now what? You don't have damages yet. They don't have damages. That's the point. He's going to say the collection. You didn't pay it, it's not a damage. They can claim damage.
Impact traffic.
This report is...
fucking understand. They can claim damage. Now they have to prove damage. If they can use that as a defense. If they actually lien his landlord's property, then it's going to get fucking bad.
No, what he did.
What do you mean? I know how he got around that booth.
He fucking cut it off.
No, he picked the lock. No, he cut this end right here and then welded it back. He literally took this end off, took the fucking boot off, split everything.
Well, how to get the lock? How would you get the lock?
He left the lock in the chain. He did it from the other end. You know what I'm saying?
No, the lock is still locked. It's out of the chain.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
He broke a link and then welded it back at the other end. You know what I'm saying?
He's Houdini.
So the chain is one link shorter. Okay. And the lock is exactly where it was all the time. He just took it up at this end and pulled it out and put it back.
Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney that I hope you never need. So many people, though, know that life is not perfect and things go wrong, especially with a DUI. If you tried to calculate what to drink and drive, you're crazy. You should use a ride share or a taxi or not drink or a designated driver. But listen, if it's too late, Joe Lazara is someone you can trust. He'll do a free initial consultation. And then he'll quote you a flat rate for your offense. And you do need a defense attorney, guilty, innocent, or just stupid. You need one. 303-429-6200.
303-429-6200. Joseph A. Lazara.
What's up, Nuggets fans? It's Jamal Murray here to tell you about.
I think so. He took off the link that has a lock in it and threw it away.
No. Give me a second. Where is this right here? I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
And it doesn't cost you any more money than traditional real estate.
All right, go ahead.
Orchard is the same
What's this lock doing down there?
That's right. The lock is still locked right down there. He had to have pulled off the link that it was attached.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. I was thinking that he might have taken this off.
No, he doesn't. Once this is off, you don't need that.
No, I'm saying once he took this off, left the lock alone and
he
did back.
But he did. He took the link that held that lock and threw it away.
Okay.
So they're missing a link. It is physically impossible for that guy to get lock off without doing damage. I don't care what he says.
Okay, I can work with that.
Unless he knows how to pick it.
And then locked it back again. He could have done that.
I mean,
but that's another thing.
You got to be a locksmith.
That lock is not hard to pick. That one. I thought it was or is it a combination lock or a key lock?
Actually, it's both. But considering that
that's a combination lock on the bottom.
That's how they do it. Because when you pay, then they give you the code.
Like cleaning your nose. After all, your nose is the body's air.
Okay. He said that he wrote in comfort. He said that.
Is that what he said?
No, that's well, see, I've opened this kind of lock.
Navage isn't
just fucking around with it till I can get it open.
Navage uses power.
That's pretty fucking hard to do.
Yeah, there's
talking about doing the back of the nose where germs get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus.
I don't think you can pack those locks that easily.
Sleep deeper,
it takes a while, but it can help you.
Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself.
Well, you're saying by lock or by feeling it?
It's by brute force. No, it's literally by brute force. Try.
There's a
I tried
guy
numbers until I got it. Just
think of the combination with 4 numbers. What the combination?
There's a guy on.
I'll bet. Hold on, I can. It's like some astronomical.
10 times 10 times 10 times 10. But if you kind of.
$1 million.
Yeah, it's a bunch. You don't have to do them all though.
There's a guy on YouTube.
You only have to do it until you get the right one.
Yeah.
You'd have to start. You got to start with one.
That is fucking impossible.
No, there's a guy on YouTube called the Lock Picking Lawyer.
That's a lock. That's not guessing the combination.
Wait, no. He can open any lock. He says these combination locks are very easy. You can figure out how to do it.
You usually get it.
Does he tell you how?
No. But he should. But he does it.
Very patient man.
That's smart.
Nothing to lose. Just sit there. I need this open, and I ain't got nothing else to do. I'll go pay nothing. I'm not going to tear it up. So.
People send him locks from all over the world, and he's able to pick them open.
Oh, Justin's landlord?
Angie Cliff is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you can cross your next project off your to-do list
Ever
before
seen those
it's added.
padlocks where you go right,
Tell us
left,
what
up,
you
down?
need, and we'll be
I've
over
seen
there.
it.
Sending a top pro to get
It'd
it
be
done.
very interesting
Or
to know
browse
what they
reviews, compare quotes from pros,
breaking
and
one of
connect
those.
instantly. All
That's
for
gotta
free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
Yeah, but you know who can do that probably pretty good? Kids that play games.
Yeah. Yeah, they're something made for that.
That's what Dell Technologies advisors do.
And they're into the up to, down to, left to, right to. They're into that.
Call an advisor today at 877.
Jiggling stuff around. Yeah, jiggling, baby.
Ask Dell. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Need duct fast.
Custom Duct Manufacturing is here to help.
We are a minority-owned small business, conveniently located right outside of Denver. We specialize in
They'll
fabrication.
tell you, just like my lock on my house is for your protection. Bypass it and you won't make it squirt.
Depending on what side of the door you're on.
You bypass my lock and you won't make it squirt.
Visit us online at customductmfg.com.
Oh, here's a dude's landlord, Mark. Very curious.
Estimate today. Denver's talk station. Online
at
khelp.com.
I guess this landlord has questions. We'll find out now.
Hi, Tom Martino, you're a troubleshooter. I promised I would get to all of these other calls. Shelly, it's important you hang on.
Hang on about that Halo. Also, SaferNet.com in the house. We're going to talk to SaferNet. I have some inquiries for them on protecting your home or business networks and individual laptops, tablets, and desktops. Okay, right now, though, Justin, I need to ask this question, okay? I mean, at this point, I need to know, in order to fight for you, though, because they're claiming damage here. I see a lock that's still locked, and I see it disconnected. So how did you guys take the link with the lock on it and take that one link off? How did you get it off?
It wasn't secured. They never secured it in the first place. Huh?
There you go.
All right. So it was never, or that's his story and he's sticking to it. So they never actually had the lock, you were able to just pull on it and the lock came undone.
Yeah, it was just easily removed.
Okay. I know that's not true, but whatever you did, why are they claiming it was damaged? What did they say was damaged?
In the email, they're saying that I destroyed the chain, and that's why they're charging me $250 for each one.
And you took pictures to prove you didn't. That's really smart, because they're going to come and get money, try to get money. We do have the landlord. Hold on. We'll come right back with that. I think, is that his landlord?
Yeah, he has some separate questions.
Good. We're going to come to him now.
His question is going to be, they're threatening to put a lien on my place for this $1,000. Exactly. That's where they kept saying the damage.
Well, they can't tie that to him. There's no fucking way. No, they can't. Can they? What the fuck did he do?
Well, man, that is kind of fucked up. I don't know.
I don't know what they.
Maybe he is held
responsible
for his tenant. Maybe he is, and the tenant has already acknowledged that they were his friends. So it's just the whole thing can be connected.
Saturday afternoons at 3. And Mark, is your concrete sinking? Interior floor, basement, or garage? We're in here with advanced mud jacking. I've been lifting concrete in Colorado for over 30 years. We use cement, nothing toxic. Advanced mud jacking, 303-424-9441. Advanced mud jacking at yahoo.com.
I had to do that with my girlfriend when she was living with me. We had to change cars every 3 days. Because we only allowed to park for 72 hours.
The Troubleshooter, mornings at 10. Streaming live on our free iHeartRadio app and at khow.com. ABC News.
I'm going to be...
Russia's attack on Ukraine now entering its 6th week. And despite a diplomatic pledge to ease up on military operations...
I'm taking Addie up to look at her law school one day next week. I don't know what day yet.
Which law school? CU?
No, Wyoming.
At the peace talks, the Russian negotiator said, we will do this as a gesture...
She's really starting to like it.
You
know, they only have 200 students.
And what is DU?
Tommy, can you just do me a favor and hold off on the landlord and take the water guy and Shelby after the hour first? Thank you.
That is a tactical withdrawal.
Did she get accepted to OBJ yet, Mark? Or she's thinking about applying?
The UN says
what?
Yeah, has she been accepted, or is she thinking about applying?
No, she got accepted to Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with DU and then we won't know for another 3 weeks.
Wow.
But she's liking Wyoming for completely different reasons. Class size is her biggest. There's only 200 students in that thing. That's unfucking believable.
And the Trump-era immigration policy known as Title 42, giving government the authority to expel migrants because of the pandemic. Lifting Title 42 is expected to trigger a surge of refugees at the U.S.-Mexico border, including those from Ukraine.
Like many asylum seekers, Ukrainians fleeing the war in their own country are making their way to Mexico and then into the United States. About 200 a day at the San Isidro and Otay checkpoints in California. Others in Brownsville, Texas, where Victor Maldonado heads a shelter.
They are here already. Many of them are not going to go back.
The Biden administration plans to lift the Trump-era rules that allowed the immediate expulsion of some immigrants to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
According to new research, 50 countries in 2021 generated about 10% of its electricity through solar and wind sources. The Netherlands, Australia, and Vietnam
were fastest in making the switch. Victor Ogendo, ABC News.
At CDW, we get the right workspace.
It's less than 15 to 1 ratio there. I want to see what DU is.
What do you mean 15 to 1? Oh, we teach this to students?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
By CDW, it's easier for your teams to work consistently and productively with tools like
What is DU? University of Denver? No, it's Denver University.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/triplight.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver packages fast and affordably, so you can give your customers what they want.
Carvana is the worst fucking site I have ever seen for searching for a car.
Oh yeah, did you put your car on top?
Retail,
Yeah, but not there.
Oh, you put on Craigslist?
Small biz.
Yeah, you put.
Did you get any big takers?
Customizers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you.
One asshole asked about Mercedes Benz at Westminster.
USPS.com/delivery.
By the way, Mark, I never really, honest to God, I wasn't playing with you, so.
They're about the same. I was telling Doc.
I never, honest to God, I have never.
Oh, on mine?
Yeah.
No, it was a dealer. At the very end, he's like, "Oh, I'll give you, okay, I can give you 42 for it."
Typically until mid to late April.
Oh, well, that's not bad, is it?
100% contained.
I wouldn't sell it at 42, no way.
100% contained. We're getting a deeper look at the Correctional District in Colorado.
I have never seen, and this is a bad site too, TrueCar. You can't even, you cannot put make and model. Are you fucking stupid? Fucking, nope, no
Well,
make.
what are you selling?
You can't, no, I'm talking about, you can't specify. On some of these, they have the worst search engines. You have to go like SUVs, just SUVs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, when you're searching. But then it'll show you. I get you.
That's
Which
crazy.
is fucking stupid.
By Chad Bauer. Now, Impact Traffic.
Fucking
This report is
stupid.
sponsored by Allstate.
One big issue on the highways right now, southbound I-25, just after Orchard, a car that overheated. It's on the right side of the highway, but traffic is still backed up to the 225 interchange. And in Jefferson County, Highway 128 westbound at Westford.
What I don't understand is the differences
intersection
in
and
prices.
officers
It's
are on
like
scene
fucking
directing traffic.
crazy.
Your Fox 31
Crazy
weather, sunny and
differences
mid to lower
in
60s
prices
today.
for the same exact model and year. It's amazing. And now, when I say differences, I mean from 150 to 288. Same mileage, same car. Like, you're wondering, what the fuck?
Mitchell, 630 K-How.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. And Allstate Better Protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Wants a halo.
We're going to talk her out of it, Mark. Don't worry.
Wow, we gotta. I can't say that Halo's not good for anything because I don't know shit about it. I think it's overpriced as shit, though. Now, why not do this? You guys have a Soda Stream at your house, any of you?
No, but I was going to get one.
We have a Soda Stream. You know
What is
what
that?
we use
What
it
is
for?
that? I don't know what you mean, a soda
It
stream.
makes carbonated water.
Yeah, that's all we use it for is the carbonated water. So one tube of CO2 lasts virtually like forever. It's crazy. Why not carbonate your entire house?
What do you mean?
Take a shower with carbonated water?
You got it right there. Why not? Why not? It's got to be good for you. It's got to be crisp, refreshing. No one else is doing it.
Throw a little bit of lime smell into it.
You can infuse different flavors. How about a carbonated hot tub? I wondered with this Soda Stream, though, so it's so easy to use. It's crazy. You put water in this bottle, and then you put it on the machine for 2 seconds, and it's fucking delicious.
Can you make it a glass at a time?
No, the bottle's like a liter. I mean, they might sell smaller ones, but it comes with the liter.
You got to charge that.
I've never seen a smaller one, Mark.
Yeah, okay.
You got to charge that container so the carbonation is the water.
It's really cool.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere. Let's go to the phones. We got a lot of unfinished business here. And I want to say that we have SaferNet with us, safernet.com, to download the app that will protect you and can save you from ransomware, which is really bad. But we'll talk about that. We haven't heard much about it since the pandemic. We'll update us on that and then talk about how it can protect you. Paul Dowding is our waterman, Paul the Waterman. Paul is with waterpros.net, and I have a question for him. Shelly is about to buy a system, and I want you to give your opinion. Shelly, go ahead, Shelly. What's going on? First of all, what kind of water do you have? Do you have super hard water?
I do, Tom, and thanks for taking my call. So I'm getting a new dishwasher. I've had a valve replaced under the sink and, a lot of lime buildup, calcium, etc. So the plumber suggested that I have a Halo 5 maintenance-free whole house filtration and conditioner system put into the home. And my question is, it's not a cheap venture. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on the Halo 5.
First of all, how bad is your water? How hard is it?
Well, I'm not sure as far as measuring it. However, you can see buildup around fixtures that I have to clean with vinegar. Also, as I mentioned, the valve, when the company came in to install the dishwasher, they were afraid to turn the valve because they were afraid the water, they'd break it.
Yeah. Well, and Paul, she obviously, and where do you live? What area?
Thornton area, Colorado.
Brighton. Is that known for having hard water, Paul?
Yeah, parts of Thornton, absolutely. So the Halo 5 will not soften the water. Hardness is a liquid. It's calcium carbonate. If you do your research, a magnet is not going to suspend the liquid. So when oxygen comes in contact with it, it converts to a scale. And so the only way to remove it is through the process of ion exchange, and that's a water softener.
This supposedly, and if I may, I have the brochure in front of me.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want to put salt from a softener.
Okay. Let me ask you something before you say anything, Paul. What do you mean by that, Shelley?
Well, when the water is too soft, feel like you're not fully rinsing properly.
Oh, you don't like that feeling, right?
I don't like that feeling.
Okay, that's not, just so you know, that's not from salt. That feeling, that oily feeling is what water feels like when it doesn't have minerals in it. So it actually is the only way to feel if you want to save your plumbing and your laundry and your towels and save detergent. That's truly the only way. And just so you know also, there's no such, you cannot soften without a filter that softens, and that filter is cleaned with salt water. It is not put into your system. So people think they add salt to your water. They don't. There's no salt added to your water. If you tested your water, you're not going to find it high in sodium.
Right. So here's what you could do. You could get a water softener. We could be creative. You could put in a 3-valve bypass, a gate valve, and then you could bleed about 1 to 2 grains. You adjust it where it's bleeding untreated water. You still get the benefit. But what's happening also is a lot of that slippery feeling is because of the soap products you buy have lotions and conditioners because of the hard water. So that's the other factor that you feel that super, super slimy feel is because of the soap that we also use. It's designed to treat hard water as well. But I would suggest you get your water tested to see exactly how hard it is. And I'm assuming this is a municipality, right? It's a city water supply?
Right, the city of Thornton.
Yeah, so, I mean,
let me ask you. I wanted to ask specifically about this product because I don't like having the filter situation. every so many months, and what they're saying.
The halo's not going to work. Let's put it that way.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: is it totally? Okay, they say they have a certain level of granulars, like a granular activated carbon is one level, high activity carbon is another. There's a filter AG plus, and then a high density garnet filter media. And so they also mention an ion inline water conditioner. So are you telling me that none of this works with this filtration system?
Absolutely, 1,000% correct. It doesn't soften the water. If it's not
I'm not
going to
looking
remove the
to
hardness.
soften the water.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not looking to soften the water. I'm wondering if this will work, because what the plumber is saying is we need magnesium, we need the calcium in the water.
Now, hold on. Why are you being told you need calcium and magnesium in the water?
Well, they said it's already there. So
But why are they saying you need it though?
Well, they're saying as far as a nutrient is concerned.
Your skin doesn't absorb it.
I mean, when
your body
drink
doesn't absorb it.
calcium,
Your body doesn't absorb hardness. What happens as we get older, if you got really hard water, it converts into kidney stones and gallstones. Your body does not absorb the minerals in hard water.
See, listen. I'm not going to try to talk you into anything, but Halo, you will not be happy with.
All right. So tell me this: what other options are there? I don't want a water softener, but I would like something that would eliminate, if it's possible and it's out there, what can eliminate the lime buildup and
would reverse osmosis do that? Although it'd be very expensive.
Very expensive. See, here's the thing. Unfortunately, ma'am, the only way to remove the hardness, the lime buildup, is to grab it as a liquid. That's the technology of a water softener, ion exchange. That's the really, truly only way to do it. There's been so many out there that claim that they can do it with the filtration media. But the thing is that the filtration media, carbon is a sponge. It absorbs organics. Hardness will pass right through it.
Okay.
So there are some folks. I had two of them in the last 6 months. The Halo 5 that we removed for people that bought them, thinking for hard water situations, and it just didn't work, and it caused one guy to basically ruin his brand new boiler system. It's just not. Wow. It won't do it, and unfortunately, with the water softener, that's the only technology that's legitimate to remove the minerals out of the water.
Okay. And are there any brands that you can recommend?
Yeah, I'd love to come out and talk to you about it. I mean, that's what we do at Water Pros, is we do water softening.
But here's the deal. If you want a brand, I mean, the brand is kind of irrelevant, except it's what you want is the system and the process and all of that. And bottom line is this, okay? We have had more complaints about Halo than any other water system made. Now, I have people on my referral list that sell Halo, and they swear by it. They say it will do some kind of polarization to the water so your water doesn't do any harm. I don't know how that's possible, okay? And but all I can say is, we've had a lot of complaints about it. You ought to look online and talk to people who've had it. Now, if you're looking to get rid of minerals or to get rid of the harm in your pipes, but not have soft water, it's not going to happen. Okay, so we'd all like certain things, but it's just not going to happen unless you put in a $25,000 system, reverse osmosis. That would happen. Listen, call Paul off the air. He'll be glad to talk to you. He's a great guy. Waterpros.net, 303-862-5554. Make sure she gets that, Suze, 862-5554.
I wasn't going to sit there and live this whole fucking,
We should have someone come on from Halo. The biggest one that
I don't want to do anything balanced.
Yeah. The biggest one that blew me away was that heating system that the water was too hard for, and they put the Halo in, and it continued to break. I mean, how they can say it softens water But if you do the test, it literally doesn't change it at all. It's just fucking crazy.
But we did get them. I got a refund on that.
Guys.
RockyMountainIVMedics.com. Get hydration therapy in the comfort of your home or office or meet anywhere you'd like. And they come to you. It's doctor supervised, and medical professionals come to your home to administer it, whether it be for dehydration, vitamin deficiencies. You can get it for pain, and you really can. You can get it for just about anything you want. If you have the flu and want to get over the hump, it's a common therapy known to all treatments. And here's the other, all modalities. Everyone uses hydration therapy. You can get it done for no more than going to an IV bar, RockyMountainIVMedics.com. You can text for same-day appointments, same-hour appointments, 720-987-2155, 720-987-2155. Ideal Home Loans can get you a loan, and they can close in 3 weeks or less. They can close within days if you have a pre-approval. That's right. You can go out right now and say, what can I borrow, and get pre-approved. They'll put the money aside. They will make sure that money is available as soon as that house is appraised. So it'll put you at par with a cash buyer. They also have the interest rate guarantee. That is really important, because right now rates are still relatively and historically low, believe it or not, okay? But if rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. They also let you pick your own term, so you don't have to re-rack to 15 or 30. You can pick whatever term you want. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan, including credit optimization. Even though you're approved, they could just go and rush it through, but they don't. They take the time to legally, ethically, and quickly enhance your credit even more so you can have even lower prices. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
One of the most frustrating things I ever had to deal with was my own insurance company, my homeowner's insurance company. And if you have a commercial policy, or if you have a homeowner's and you've ever had anything, theft, maybe a hailstorm, maybe a fire, you know what I'm talking about. You need someone that understands that policy language. You need an expert, and that is Matt with Paragon Services. If you've been offered any amount for compensation through your policy, commercial or residential, such as a hailstorm, call up Matt. It's 100% free advice. He's going to tell you if they're putting the screws to you. Simple as that. And it doesn't cost you a nickel. When my insurance company said I had no damage, Matt got me $70,000. 719-726-0020. Paragon Services, 719-726-0020. Here's the PDF. Let's see what it says. Okay, Cherry Grove. So what are they talking about? Where's parking? Owner responsibilities, parking vehicles, number 6. Number 6. Parking vehicles. No vehicle belonging to or under the control of an owner, resident, or member of the family or guest, tenant, or leasee of an owner or resident shall be parked in such a manner to impede or prevent ready access. Okay, well, that's no problem. Park your car head in to avoid damage to the landscaping. Okay. No parking is allowed at the time behind carports. Okay. The speed limit. Please have your valid parking pass visible in any vehicles parked in the Cherry Grove East parking lot at all times. A parking sticker is required when you're using your assigned carport. Parking is enforced 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. All guests must register with the parking vendor during enforcement hours, or it will be towed. All guests will register with the parking vendor. The fuck does that mean? What do they have, like a tow truck that you go up to when you park?
Somebody, and it sounds like if you park before the testing and you're there during the testing, you might get dinged because you didn't come out and register. What time did they say it started? 7 to 10? 10 to 7? 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.?
Yeah, parking is enforced 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. 7 days per week.
So if I parked in that lot at 9:30,
who do you register
and they're not
with?
enforcing it, and I go spend an hour or two with my friend, and now they're enforcing it. You're at risk. I'm at risk. I gotta go put my car, man.
Residents are supposed to keep their parking areas clean. Owners of units with deeded parking lots and carports are authorized to use their parking space in their car. Well, I would hope so if you own it. What are they pointing to? What are they saying he violated? Does anybody remember?
Yeah, that couldn't be more than 3 days in a 7-day period.
But there's nothing here about that. Oh, wait. Here we go. Number 7. No abandoned or inoperable motorcycles. Wait. What is this? Or other similar vehicles. So it basically defines all. Wait. No abandoned or inoperable vehicle shall be defined as an automobile, truck, motorcycle, self-contained motorized recreational vehicle, or other similar vehicle, which have not been driven under its own propulsion for 72 hours or longer,
You can't sit nothing there
or
for
which
3
does
days.
not have an operable propulsion system. What is that? No abandoned or
In other words,
how can they define a vehicle that's been parked for 72 hours, though, as abandoned or inoperable?
a fifth wheels, a trailer.
No, but that's not what they're saying. They're saying any vehicle that is sat for 72 hours is abandoned. Well, that's like the craziest leap ever.
In other words, you got to move your car every 3 days.
Right, I'll tell you, it's happened with my girlfriend.
3713 talk 713-8255. Welcome to the show. Let's talk. Okay, what are we waiting for on this park it right? Are we gonna?
Well, I think he wanted to listen to his landlord's question. His landlord has a question on line 1.
Okay, so as it is, Justin says his friends' cars were towed because they claimed that the HOA claimed that they're not supposed to be there more than a certain number of days.
Here's exactly what it says. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's number 7 in the HOA. No abandoned or inoperable automobiles or vehicles of any kind shall be stored or parked within the property. An abandoned or inoperable vehicle shall be defined as any automobile, truck, motorcycle, self-contained motorized recreational vehicle, or other similar vehicle which has not been driven under its own propulsion for a period of 72 hours. So
what does that mean? If you park there more than 3 days, it's abandoned?
They're defining abandoned or inoperable by any vehicle that is not moved by its own propulsion.
It hasn't moved in 3 days.
That hasn't moved in 3 days.
No, I understand that. So they're saying you have to move your car every 3 days is what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
That's a good way to look at it.
No, so I want to know something, Justin, and I don't want to get into a discussion with you on whether we're interpreting this right or not, but were any of those cars parked in the same spot for 3 days or more?
No, their check-ins were actually on separate days, on all separate days. My girlfriend has her own place, and my daughter pretty much lives at her job.
So they're
not there more than those days.
Okay, so in other words, they were moved to different spots each night.
Yes, and their check-in dates and emails confirmations, all that they're saying are violations, were days apart.
Okay, all right. So I don't get it. I don't think there was a right to boot these cars if Justin is being straight with us, being honest. I don't think there was a right to boot them. But unfortunately, as I said, rather than fight that civilly, now he's going to have to use it as a defense for when they come collecting.
Let's see what the landlord's asking.
Now, the landlord, this is Justin's landlord, Mark. Mark, thank you. What's going on, Mark?
Hi, Tom. How are you doing today?
Good. What do you think about this situation?
I think there's a couple problems. The one thing that I wanted to question you about, and then additionally, the man in the past, we never had a towing company. What they did was they had tenant and owner parking passes, and then they originally had guest parking passes. So when people would come over and visit a homeowner or a tenant, the tenant or homeowner would give them a parking pass. They'd go and put it on their window, and then there was none of this having to register with no more occupying a parking spot in that area for, 3 times in 7-day rule. There was nothing like that, okay? Then when they hired the towing company in October 2021, they amended the rules and regulations based upon what Justin sent you on that parking on rules and regulations number 5, where it says a guest must register with the parking vendor during enforcement hours or will be towed. They amended that and put that in there after they eliminated the guest parking passes. But in the amendment, it never stated the 3 days, 3 times in 7-day rules, which it should be.
Well, where is it stated anywhere? The 3 days is it in 7? They're 3. They're 3 what? What was the rule that you quoted?
3 times, and no guest can park there in more than 3 times in 7 days.
Okay, now
which is stupid, because what if?
But where is that rule anywhere to be seen? 3 times in 7 days.
It's posted on signs that are hard to find in the parking lot.
Wait a minute. Okay, this is a whole new light.
So that's basically park-it rights rules. It's not a rule that's stated in the rules and regulations.
I get it. But hold on. Does the HOA allow Park-It Ride to make that rule?
Yes. I don't know. I've been trying to get on a board meeting to discuss this, and they have board meetings once a month. The last month that I was going to discuss this based upon Jason's and mine situation, the community manager didn't have enough board members on the meeting, so they abruptly canceled it because there's 5 board members and you have to have 3 of them on the Zoom meeting. So he said, well, this meeting's canceled, goodbye, which was very frustrating because there were several of us wanting to discuss the problems with Park-It Right. And
So who came up with the 3 registrations in 7 days?
I believe that's a Park-It Right rule that
they just pulled it out of their ass and said, let's make this a rule.
Well, it's basically a stupid rule.
Well, listen, whether we think it's stupid or not, what we have to determine is, did they come up with the rule and the HOA said, okay? I mean, how much power did they give Park and Ride to do that? To Park It Right.
I don't know. That's a good thing. There's going to be a new HOA meeting on the 18th of this month, and hopefully they're going to have. And the management company is M&M Property Management. They're fairly disorganized, and the community manager just resigned this week. So everything I've been trying to get cleared up with this particular community manager is down the drain now because now they've assigned a new person. And
all right.
But my question, Tom, the main question that I have for you, okay,
yes, go ahead,
is over this last week, I've been getting harassed by emails and by letters by Park-It Right, by
I don't know how Park-It Right. Listen, I don't know how
they're threatening to lean his home.
They can't extend that to you. I don't know how they can.
But that Joel Perry and his little office boy, his whipping boy, Roger Miller, keep emailing me probably 20 times a day, telling me that I have to pay, that me and my wife need to pay this bill. Otherwise, they're going to put a lien on my property. So they're basically trying to extort money from me for something that I didn't even do.
They can't. I don't see how they can.
And I looked through the declarations, okay, and the only thing I'm liable for my tenant or their guests is if they do damage to a common area, okay? I don't think a tow situation is a common area.
I don't see where they can come after you.
Should he complain to the PUC, Tom?
Yeah, I would, but I don't know if they're regulated.
I've told them several times to stop all communications with me by emails to the owner of the company, Joel Perry and Roger Miller. I've told them several times to stop all emails and communications, but yet they constantly email me every day saying, we're coming after you and your wife. If you don't pay this bill, we're putting a lien on your property. So I've told them, several times, I'm filing a police report for harassment and extortion, which that's what I'm going to do.
We should ask Brad O'Brien his thoughts on that, Tom.
Yeah, that would be
I'm calling Denver police to file a complaint on
Can't you just block that email address?
I'm going to do that today, but I want evidence after the fact. I've told him to stop communication. I want some evidence of emails so I can provide the police that.
Maybe we should have our listeners email this guy, this owner. What's this guy's
Sounds
email?
like a bully.
What's this guy's email?
I'll give it to you right now. Hold on.
Maybe people should reach out to him and tell them what you think about it. This is pretty crazy.
It's Joel, Joel, at parkitright.net.
Joel as in jackass where?
At parkitright.net. Joel, Joel Perry.
And he tries to strong arm people, and I get what they're trying to do. Basically, they're not providing a service of what they should be doing. All they're doing is putting up a sign and getting contracts with HOAs, and they're taking advantage of people that are on fixed incomes. And I can sympathize with Justin, and other people have taken their boots off. Not everybody on a fixed income and living.
These people are over the top.
Pay their fine. They're $300.
They're over the top. They suck. They truly do. They truly do. But I don't know. Justin has a problem in that he took it off, but I don't know how it extends to you. I don't think it does. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
What a jerk, man. Oh, this guy's a fucking asshole. He's been an asshole ever since how long have we known he was an asshole?
Hey, let's run a background check on this fucking Joel. Pull it up so we can see what this asshole's up to. What a jerk.
He is a fucking idiot.
He's just a fucking... He's a meanie. He's just a meanie. Who's the one guy on YouTube that's always for the business? Even if they're fucking just the worst business in the world, he's always like, oh, I'll get my chance.
It's either AG or MR, one of those two.
Yeah, well, I wonder what they think about him. Oh, they're probably just misunderstood.
You guys hear this man in there talking about you.
Colorado PainCare.com. Okay, that's where you go to get out of pain. That's where I went to get out of pain. And I want you to call them, but first look them up. Then you can find out they have multiple locations. And they have hours from 7 to 7, which means convenience. And you know what's great is they have various modalities to fit something to you and your pain and to help you immediately. They can do non-invasive stuff, more invasive stuff. They can do meds. They can do whatever it takes or a combination thereof. And they have appointments from 7 to 7. Give them a call, even same-day appointments, 303-GOT-PAIN. Ideal Home Loans. For your next ideal home loan is not just a slogan. Right now, a lot of people are holding off on refining. And you know why? Because they're waiting for rates to go back down. Yet they can still benefit maybe by a point or two by what they have. compared to what they can get. So why don't you get that lower rate now with Ideal Home Loans? And then you get the interest rate guarantee. So if rates go down further, you get refinance free of charge. If they don't go down, well, at least you're frozen where they are, right? That's Ideal Home Loans. And when you do that and get the lower rate, you don't have to go back to 15 if you had a 15 or 30 if you had a 30. You can pick whatever term you want in the pick your own term loan. Plus, they have credit optimization, which helps you get even better credit scores through their looking at your algorithm to see if maybe you can correct an address or pay down a credit card. That gets you better scoring, better pricing. You can always get details at 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
You ever feel like when you're at work,
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it. Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iPhone. It's the easiest way to podcast, and you get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from to woo!
Any good activity happening online?
Bickering about semantics, so to speak.
Yeah.
No, precisely, Scott. So I put in a lot and register my car today. It can sit in the same spot on that lot for 72 hours. Okay? It's different from I register my car 3 days in a row and park it in the same spot on that lot. I have 3 registrations, so I'm legit. No matter how many times they see me in that same spot, I'm legit because I have 3 different registrations.
Right.
So these guys are just, they're playing a game.
Well, it's how they make it.
It's called hand me the money, Sonny.
Yeah, that's how they make money. And they just make it hard to fight them. It's a lot easier just pay them the $200 and walk away, or whatever the number is.
Well, like Tom always says, if you're fighting them, you're fighting your own money.
Yeah.
The first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But your nose with Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthy. Join over 2 million others.
Yes, somebody did. I didn't know.
At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath,
Talking to you, MR.
Clean nose, healthy life.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. What's happening? Let's go to the phones. We're going to come back to that. But let's talk to Chris because this sounds serious. Chris, what's going on with you? Hello, Chris.
Yes, sir. I'm a landlord, have been for about 45 years. I have a tenant that's been with me since 2015. She's with Section 8, single woman with a small little dog. She started acting funny in February.
Who started acting funny?
The tenant.
Okay.
Anyway, she keeps complaining about her toilet being backed up. I've had 2 different plumbers out there. We've rotor-rooted the main line.
Now, what is your are you a landlord too here?
Her landlord.
Yeah, you're the landlord.
Her landlord.
Yeah, and
landlord.
And she keeps complaining about the same thing.
Right.
Or different things.
No, she complained about the toilet being plugged up. I've had 2 plumbers out there. They completely cleaned it all out and everything. They keep telling me, and they wrote on a few of the balance sheets that she's not flushing the toilet. She's because the water's clear. It's not poop dirty. It's clear and it's full of toilet paper. So anyway, she called Section 8. Section 8 came out and they failed me. They gave me till the end of this month. They just called me now.
Wait, what did they fail you on?
That the toilet is still plugged.
But is it plugged or not?
It's not. Well, it's plugged when they go in and inspect, but the plumbers, 2 different plumbers, clean it all out. There's no reason it would be plugged because the tub that ties into the main line, the sink that ties into the main line, and the kitchen sink that ties into the main line are not backing up. It's only the toilet, and it's not backing up. It's just full of toilet paper, and that's really about it.
Well, why don't you talk to Section 8 and tell them that?
I've done that. I've sent them pictures. I've given them the receipts of the plumbers that have stated that they're not finding nothing. The lines are clear.
Chris, what's her end game? I mean, who in their right mind would just start doing that to their own toilet for no reason? So, but what do you think her end game is?
Well, I should have stated that she's on Section 8 because she has mental issues. And she has problems. I don't know what they are because I'm not her therapist, but she's under there as mental issues. And so maybe she's just freaking out or something's happening. I don't know. My question is this, eviction. Now, they're not, if they drop me, then they're going to not pay me her portion of the rent money, and she'll be paying her portion if she does, which is $100 and something bucks. And so my question is, and she has a year lease, she has like maybe 4 or 5 months left on her lease. Is it possible still to evict her since she's not paying the full rent amount of money?
Well, why wouldn't it be?
Well, I just want to make sure because I don't want to Section 8 come, and I've talked to Section 8. Of course, they won't verify anything because that's their rules and regulations. They can't give out advice. But I'm getting the impression since I went to Golden Position Edgewater and eviction department over there, sheriff's office, and they're telling me what you just said. Why can't you evict her? I'm just looking for encouragement because I don't want to get in any trouble because I've only done maybe 2 evictions in the 45 years I've been a landlord.
Well, I think you can evict him. I had a Section 8 tenant I evicted.
It was over a toilet.
It was exactly the same. Exactly the same. You remember that. And she kept saying...
I think she was a little bit overweight.
No, what happened first, she was saying it's plugged. And we'd have somebody clear it out and said nothing's wrong with it. Then she said it broke. And I said, what do you mean it broke? Like the flapper, the flusher? No, the bowl. And I said, what do you mean? Well, you know where you sit? I said, oh, the toilet seat. No, the bowl. And I said, wait a minute. I have been around a long time, and I've never seen a toilet break in my life. Literally, the toilet broke. She was 380 pounds, but I didn't realize that. Honest to God, I had somebody manage the property. She's not 380 pounds, is she?
No,
okay.
No, she's not. But I had a similar case that way also, but he never broke the toilet. So, Yeah, so I just need I just don't want to get in trouble with Section 8 or anybody. I thought maybe somebody in your audience or maybe one of you have gone through this situation.
I'm going to invoke a name again, Brad O'Brien. I'd have him look at the agreement with Section 8. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, we have, Section 8 is just like anything else. You can evict him. You can. You're not forced to have him.
Okay. How long of a time frame should I give her before I start the process?
Do you have other rental properties?
Yes.
See, that's what I'd worry about. Like, if you get rid of one, do you agree that you're not going to take any funding from anywhere?
Well, let me ask you this. Are they ending your Section 8 money?
They said they're going to have a final inspection today. If it fails, then they'll drop me from the program and not pay me until I repair it or fix it. But I've already done it 4 times.
Okay, but then you're asking me, if they drop you from the program, can you evict her? Yes, you can.
Okay, how long do I have to wait before I start the process?
Until she stops paying. You got to wait till she stops paying.
Okay, now you said her. What about them? Because she's not going to cover the full rent.
That's what I'm talking about. They're not required to pay you. She is.
Okay, so once they stop getting the full
when's your next
rent?
When's your next paycheck rent due? The 1st?
The 1st.
If they don't pay you, and she doesn't pay, if she pays you the full rent, fine. If she pays you just her 25%, you're going to say, sorry, you're no longer on Section 8.
I'd still have Brad O'Brien look at whatever the hell you agreed to with Section 8 and make sure it doesn't affect your other tenants' ability to pay.
Now, let me explain. O'Brien Legal Services, okay? Can you write this down?
Well, let me tell you something. I already did. And I've called 4 of the lawyers, and they don't want to deal with Section 8.
We're not asking you to do that. You can ask them about evicting Section 8. And you didn't call Brad O'Brien. Did you call Brad O'Brien, O'Brien Legal Services? Chris, did you call him already?
What's his number? No, sir.
Okay. It's Brad O'Brien, O'Brien Legal Services, 720-370-7388.
And I'm just saying you pay him by the hour to look over the agreement between you, your landlord, HO.
It's worth it to you.
Just have them look over.
And by the way, O'Brien Legal Services does more than that. They'll review all buying and selling documents, financing documents, surveys, deed restrictions, whatever. OLSlaw.com. Everyone needs a real estate attorney, especially, residential or commercial, to look it over. OLSlaw.com.
Now, Impact.
Oh my God, it was. I told you about the other nut I had. Said it's raining in here, and I said,
"Oh yeah."
What do you mean it's raining? You got something wrong? I said, "Is it a water leak?" She goes, "No, it's rain."
It's like the Amazon jungle.
So I had my handyman call me and say, "Tom, it's raining in here. There are clouds in here." She had so many plants that there was a mist hanging all over. Oh my God!
Okay. What?
The cats? Huh?
What's your
plants?
Plants.
She turned it into a rainforest,
and it was soaking into the wood and the carpet. I said, "I'm never going to get a fucking landlord ever."
At least while you were, though.
Did it destroy
commercial
side of it?
Well, it did some damage. But I got plenty of oxygen.
Let's talk about Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I love talking about Frank because, oh my God, he does such great service. First of all, if he lists your home, he's not going to hold you to a long-term contract. Think about that. Because he's sure you're going to be pleased with him. And he can show you statistics where he'll sell for more money and quicker than first of all, more than you probably get in the entire neighborhood or comparables, plus faster. And he can show that. In fact, the guy that called today and gave him kudos said, I was a little nervous when he listed my home because it was a little lower than I thought it should be. Well, yes, he did it on purpose to get a bidding war. Frank knows what he's doing. You got to trust him. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Harris Family Law is a law firm for divorce, family law matters, support, separation, all of that. What I like about Harris is they truly try to keep your costs down by doing collaborative law. You can look that up. But what they do is they get the other side to agree to do collaborative law too, which means no filing of anything and talking everything out. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. 303-515-5000. They'll also do as much or as little of the divorce as you want. It's called unbundled services, which can keep your costs down. 303-515-5000. HarrisFamilyLaw.com.
You worked your whole career to reach.
So
I hear it right now.
Yeah, shut up.
So Mark, did you see that technique? I just want to make sure you know that for when you do the show.
What?
When we worked O'Brien in,
I worked him in.
Well, yeah. But when that happened and his spot came up,
oh yeah,
I just substituted one of the in-house spots I had for that 30.
Yeah, I got you.
Did Tommy tell you we're going to take him to Parker after the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
So listen to this. So Friday, her and I go bowling after the show. So we get there, we bowl.
Weird.
And there's this couple there. We don't talk to them or anything, but they're like next to us. We see them. She actually talks to the woman in the bathroom for a second. So we leave a bowling alley and go to Perry's Steakhouse. So we go to Perry's Steakhouse. We're sitting there literally at the bar getting ready to order dinner. Their famous pork chop, which is delicious.
As just being at the bowling alley.
And these people sit down to us and go, you guys were right at the bowling alley with us. Sure enough, we're like, oh, yeah, that's weird.
That was last Friday.
That was Friday. Yesterday, we hit a brewery because they had a new beer come out in Castle Rock. So we went from Denver to Park Meadows. Now we're in Castle Rock.
And they're following you.
We're sitting there having a fucking beer.
And they walk in.
And they walk in.
That's crazy.
Wow.
It's like, maybe we're meant to be friends. So
I said, you guys are following us. They go, you can't say that because you followed us to the bowling alley. We were at the bowling alley first, which was true.
That works.
It was so bizarre.
That's weird. So Belinda and I have this thing that seems to happen to us a lot of times when we go out to dinner.
What?
We end up talking to somebody somewhere.
Sure.
Okay. And they literally pay our check.
Really?
Yes.
You must look very poor.
Now, I was going to say, how come no one's ever paid my shit?
No, we're sitting up in Del Frisco, okay? And some people walk by, they stop and talk to us for a couple of minutes.
And they pay you.
Okay.
The next thing you know, they send us a bunch of drinks. I mean, it's just like people tend to...
Why do you think?
I have no idea.
Are they white or black? Because if they're white, they probably have white guilt.
No, there have been white people. There have been,
I ain't never been that fucking guilty to buy somebody's shit.
At Del Frisco's, it was a mixed group. And this Asian-looking dude is the one who was shelling out the butts.
That's crazy.
It's just crazy.
Maybe it's Asian guilt.
No, and we're
a lot of nice people.
We're over at Carrabba's, and we're sitting at the bar.
I like Carrabba's.
Yeah, we're sitting at the bar, and we're sitting next to this couple, and we're just sitting there talking, and they come to get them for their table, and they say, "Hey, come on, join us at our table." So we go join them at their table, and the guy goes and pays the bill before. So there is no bill.
Wow.
I mean, and it happens. It's happened at least 5 times.
I'm gonna hang out with you from now on.
It's happened at least 5 times. I mean,
what this tells me is if we go out to dinner with them, they need to be buying us some shit.
Right.
You know what's funny is I grew up, and that happened to my family all the time. But it was because my dad looked identical to Governor Lane. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He looked identical to him, and as soon as my dad changed his glasses,
it went away.
People stopped buying us dinner.
I have no idea what this is all about.
So Tom, I have a question for you. If you put your house on the market for $100,000,
we don't know.
I want to buy it for $100,000.
We ain't seen them.
You have the right to reject that offer just out of hand?
Maybe
you can list it. Yes, you can.
On what basis? Just don't want to take it?
No, that's right. And
there's got to be a little more than that.
I will make it a little infamous, but not famous.
I don't think you have to give a reason not to take an offer, do you?
I'm just asking. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it is. It is the most interesting thing. And we laugh about it because it's like...
Now, once you sign in and accept it...
Well, yeah, that's sure. I know.
What does that make you feel like? Actually, it feels great. I don't guess this. I don't know what it is, but is that the kind of magnetism we got? Is that the kind of attraction we have?
This just makes me laugh. I love that.
On yours?
You know, when we were down in our lockdown, I was looking at just cheap. They just stopped by a restaurant. I don't get it. And they saw us and just absolutely, nobody knew anything about that. They paid our bill. Yeah. And so we had
Paul Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. 303-713-TALK. All right. Let's talk about Bill's scam, and then go ahead, Bill. What's your scam? Bill.
You did have something
Bill?
that to kind of take care of.
Bill?
Yeah, sorry, Tom. I had a customer walk in my shop.
Okay, I can come back to you. Hold on, all right? I'll come back to you. All right. Now, let's talk about SaferNet. Somebody has a question here. SaferNet.com, an app that runs in the background, and it runs on your phone, it runs on your laptop, wherever you want it, a few bucks a month for each, and it protects it. What does it protect it from? Like, what is the mechanism for it to work?
So we have, the majority of things that happen is that you've got viruses that attack, you've got privacy issues, and you've got places that you go that you shouldn't go. And we have all three of those tools: virus protection, VPN for privacy, and internet controls to keep your internet activity safe.
Okay, we're going to come back and talk more about that too. 303-713-TALK is our number. We have another hour to go on the Troubleshooter Network.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just a hell of a deal, but the Carfax is fucking perfect.
I know.
It's perfect.
I know. I know. It's just like, I mean, that's, yeah. And,
it's weird.
So I would get on that, the write-off would be, if, I didn't negotiate anything.
Whatever, yeah.
But see, that's the only reason I'm thinking, fuck, why did they take that federal thing away, man? God damn it.
Yeah, but that was still only $8,000 or whatever.
No, it wasn't. It was 12. It was 12 on a Tesla.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was 8.
Time. Okay, so this is, what's the highest tax bracket? 38 or 37?
Justin, the tow guy, said you took something to him directly. Says Mark asked for the PDF. I sent it to him directly.
Oh, I read. We were reading it on the air.
That's a $50,000 tax, right?
Are we?
I mean, not write-off, direct savings, $50,000.
Are we
I'm
done
getting a
with
drink.
the
Anybody
Justin
need
call?
anything?
I'll take a ghetto.
You want to?
Are we done with this Justin call? He wants to ask about an attorney.
It's not a $50,000 write-off.
No, Mark.
It's $50,000.
Right, it's at 139.
It's not a write-off, yeah.
So with this Justin guy, what are we doing? He wants to ask about an attorney taking on their case. I said easier said than done.
For park it right?
Yeah.
Well, until someone sues them or does anything, there's nothing anybody can do.
Well, that's what he wants to ask about is an attorney.
All right.
So, do we want to keep him on? I don't care.
Well,
we're done with them. I'll tell the guy we're done.
He's the only one on, so why not? Yeah.
All right.
Did you find anything on Jackass Joel?
There's a lot of stuff, but I mean, he's not a criminal. I'll let you look at it. I mean, it's just weird. It's a lot of...
He's probably sued all the time.
He is.
Or he's suing people all the time.
Right. Right. That's the part. Is the litigant the person suing or being sued? He gets sued a lot.
Oh, yes.
Like by an RV place.
Wait, he's the litigant?
No. Like there was this RV place.
Yeah,
there was a Mirage Recovery Towing. They sued him. I mean, he gets a lot of lawsuits slapped on him. There was some sort of Rule 120 thing about him. And I'm just assuming it's him.
That's a bankruptcy.
I don't have the guy's birthday to really know for sure.
Yeah, but generally that's from a bankruptcy. But yeah, it's foreclosure. How about, what was the RV place?
It just,
I can download it and send it to you. I don't understand
I'd just
it.
be curious. I mean, I wouldn't mind calling up the RV place and saying, "Hey, what happened?"
It works perfectly on older maps. When they did the latest
No official cause of Bell's death has been
it's not
released.
working well.
Joint
So what we tell people is that once this new thing comes out, which should be, it was supposed to be out this month, so that it's supposed to be first week. Then it'll work for all.
So on apps, every time someone changes their iOS or changes even Google, sometimes you're forced to go back and redo your app to address.
Pardon me, Brad. This guy's asking
fucking expensive to have an app.
What is the promo code? How long is the trial with the promo code? If I start out with one device, is it difficult to add devices?
Come on and ask him on air.
Ask it on the air, please.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We'll get it going.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple.
I just don't understand this price, but okay.
Desktop, laptop, or desk phone. Because every call.
Yeah,
I wish we could go. I wanted to go see a
like having anything here,
but they don't have.
That's the worst fucking part of a Tesla right now. That is the worst part.
Because that might seal the deal for
I'm telling you, I think if you test drove it, you should do it.
We had to do it.
I'll tell you what would be really cool, but you're fucked on this, man. If that Roadster was available, I'd tell you get the fucking Roadster. Because that is the coolest looking fucking thing I've ever seen. That thing is ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous looking car.
I'm not even, the reason I'm not even, I can't, what if I put 50 down and they decide they want 300 for it?
All right, guys, your Mac rebuild is coming.
Then you're fucked.
Be patient.
Totally.
Yeah, but I think you could buy it and sell it whatever day you get it for more. I don't give a fuck how much it was. My buddy, when his Corvette got delivered, he had one of the first what are they called, mid-mount, where they put the engine in the middle, whatever it was. He had offers the day it was delivered for more than he paid by a lot, 15 grand.
What time are we starting again?
2 minutes, you can go, that don't matter. If you gotta go, you gots to go.
Right back.
Although some of the cushions in this room look like they've been urinated on.
One wreck to deal with on the roads in Jefferson County and overturned cement truck.
And I gotta get my son another job. This thing is wearing me out.
Tell them to apply over there to
At Plumline.
Plumline.
With no skills, no plumbing skills.
Yes, they can they'll train them. That's what.
They take apprentices.
Yeah, they'll do it. I mean,
And
Bob Logan was desperate for help.
Where would that be? What part of town would that be in? And I think I was asking that which would create a problem then, reliability.
Sometimes it feels like 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. Dell Technologies advisors have the Windows PC.
Hellcat says you can rent a plaid for a day.
Where?
Where, Hellcat? Where can you rent a plaid for a day?
That's a hell of a good idea. You know what? I think you could probably rent a plaid somewhere. I'm going to look.
And when the kitchen is done, the bathroom is free. All tear out and hallway is also free. Call now for your selection of quartz. All the latest colors. 303-386-5919. TheArtOfGranite.com.
For over 150 years.
Here we go. Tesla car rentals. Okay, let me see. Oh, these are all fucking Model 3s. Show me where you can rent that.
A plaid.
I don't believe you now. Here's a Model S. All right, I'm going to try it just for the hell of it. I'll do it. Let's see. I don't care. Denver. Denver. I don't care if it's airport or not. Just Denver. Denver. Here, allow. There you go. Okay.
If you get it, I'll drive it.
Let's see. I'll pick it up. Pick it up. Return it on the 5th. Oh man, I'm in the wrong damn month. Hold on.
You want to make it 4:30?
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. In fact, to this day, over $300 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, directly due to this show.
And we have some questions. Sue's had questions for SaferNet, SaferNet.com, our guest. And for those listening, SaferNet is a protection on your computer. It runs in the background. And it also runs on the background on your cell phone or tablet or whatever, and it's meant to ward off attacks of ransomware, viruses, and all that. You know, as an experiment, I've done this so many times. You know the internet speed you can check? So somebody said, well, if you have a background app running, it's definitely going to slow down your speed. And it either, in all my tests, it either has no effect or it has a fast, it runs faster. My computer runs faster online. My internet connection is faster when it's in the background. So that I don't understand, but it never had a negative effect. So how do you basically explain that? Brad Hawkins with SaferNet. How to explain that it doesn't slow it down?
You know, I love that question because we actually do slow it down. It's about a 0.01 latency.
Why don't I see it?
Because it's a very small amount. But what happens?
Then why do sometimes it seems faster?
We're blocking so much of that exterior stuff that's coming in and snagging all your information that because they're not in there slowing things down, we actually speed things up.
I get it. So you have a net effect of slowing down by a couple microseconds, or nanoseconds, but because it's warding off other stuff that slows you down,
exactly,
you actually have less of a slowdown with SaferNet than you would without it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So rather than talking about it speeding up, it's actually less of a slowdown.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's so much fun watching that. And it really depends on how much of that exterior activity is happening on your devices, of how it affects you.
Okay. Sue's has some emails, but right now she's on the line, so I'll go to Justin, Justin, okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Justin. Hold on, Justin, hang on. Bill. Okay, Bill, you said there's an email scam we need to know about?
Yeah, Tom, give me a second. Let me take you out.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, okay?
Oh, it's okay. I can hear you fine if you want, but okay.
Yeah, okay, sure. Anyway, I got an email last night from what looked like the Norton billing department.
I've heard about it. What did it tell you?
Well, it told me that they were going to debit me automatically in the next 24 hours for $674 or $647, something like that.
It said thank you for your order, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it referred me to a phone number in the 818 area code out in the valley in California.
Yeah, and they're going to ask you just enough information to try to scam you.
Actually, no, they didn't. They referred me to. They had me punch in a number, a 2-digit code.
What 2-digit code? What 2-digit?
One was 42. It told you on a prompt what number to punch in, and then and then it hung up on me.
Yeah.
And then today I got a call back from some knucklehead with an Indian accent calling me from New York. And he didn't even know what it was about. He said he was returning a missed call. And I says, well, is this Norton? He goes, oh, yeah, this is Norton. I said, no.
Yeah, that's it. Norton, yeah.
That was number 42.
That's it.
Yeah, 42 was one of them. It was 42, 46, and then 64 or something like that when I called it back a few different times. But anyway, if you want the number to the one in New York, I've got it saved in my phone.
Yeah, okay. This is I want you to give it to Suzanne off the air.
All right. And I don't know what you guys can do with it, but it's a cell phone.
It's probably a Google phone.
Well, it kind of scares me too, because if the guy could debit $600 from me, I don't know how he could, but I wonder what
that means. You know what I mean? Just enough information.
Well, I don't think so. I
call them.
don't think he could do anything, for goodness sakes. Just capturing your cell phone number.
I hope not.
I think he could only get you if you call him back and give up the ghost.
I wouldn't give up the ghost. That's for sure. I've learned enough from Tom.
And also remember, Bill, 42 is the secret of the universe.
I thought it was 36, but go ahead.
No, so if you read Douglas Adams, it's 42.
Okay. All right.
What are you guys talking about?
There was a whole series of books called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe.
Okay.
Where this guy goes around and around trying to find the secret. He finally, in the last book, meets the guru and says, "What's the secret of the universe?" And the guy says, 42. And that was it.
42. That's just it. Okay, good. I remember that series of books. I never read them, but okay. So, sir, I think I want you to give that number to Suze. Okay, Suze, take that number when you can. If you can. Thank you. Now, 303-713-8255. Suze?
Did you want that email question?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it says, I'm listening and catching a little at a time as I'm working. What's the promo code for SaferNet? How long is the trial with the promo code? If I start out with one device, is it difficult to add devices?
Yeah, great question. Tom is the promo code, and you can do caps or no caps, whatever you'd like to do. On the website,
you know, that's an important thing because you get 44 days.
Yep.
With Tom.
Yep.
And you were going to explain that. If you went straight to the website and didn't have my code, you would get 30 days.
No,
you would get
14 days.
Okay.
14
and the Tom adds another 30.
Exactly. So you get
I got to remember to push that, Mark, when I do this commercial, because I remember saying it a few times, but I got to say it every time. That's an incredible deal.
We love Tom.
But don't you think it's an incredible deal?
Absolutely. So at that point, anybody can take advantage of that. But then to add more devices, it's actually very simple. You go to your dashboard, and everybody has a dashboard. You can see all the activity that's going on with all your devices. And if you go to billing, you just add more devices from billing.
Okay. 303-713-8255 is our number, and we have more coming up. Let's talk to now. That is an email scheme. I'm sorry, we got it. So, Justin, we're having we heard you had more questions. Are you looking for an attorney? Is that what you're looking for?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of looking at advice in that direction because I definitely love that for myself, but I think that there's dozens of us in there that they're doing this type of thing to.
Well, you can't sue. You can't sue.
I had another situation. Sorry, go ahead.
You can't sue on suspicions. There's nothing to sue right now.
No. What I'm saying is, so since they had no rule in the HOA book to back what they're trying to charge me for,
right?
And for them to boot the cars, there's no rule in the book,
right?
We sent you guys the email and all that. So they did that.
Let's say for argument's sake, let's say you're correct. For argument's sake, it's therefore what?
Yeah. So therefore, they're doing this to not only myself, but they're doing this to everybody, and they're threatening us to put liens, to file charges, to tow us, to do all kinds of stuff. It's not just me. There's everybody who lives in that community. So what I'm saying is they're extorting us based off of rules that don't exist.
Right.
So
but hold on, Justin. Justin, hold on. Well, before you go on, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You say the rules do not exist. The owner of your condo that you're renting, your landlord, said there is a rule that exists. It's a rule put out by Park It Right. Now, if Park It Right is an agent of the HOA, they may be allowed to institute a rule if they got the HOA's permission. Now, you have to determine if that rule they put in place that you can only park 3 days out of 7, if the same person can only park 3 days out of 7, not the owners, but the guests, you have to do that legwork first, or you're just barking up the wrong tree. If Park It Right put up some signs, and whether you like it or not, there are signs there that say that. So you're saying no rule exists. That's wrong. Okay? There is a rule that exists. Whether or not it's a legitimate rule or they had authority to make that rule is between that company and the HOA. And if the HOA is not responsive, that's where not you as a renter or other renters get together. The owners must hold the HOA accountable, not the renters. Justin?
And yeah, no, I'm here. I wanted to make sure you were done. So what I sent Mark was the PDF with a screenshot of the management, the HOA management company. They sent me the rules that I sent you. So that's what they gave me before this ever happened.
I'm gonna say this again, Justin, because you're not listening to me. It doesn't matter if the HOA rules don't go as far as the extra rule. If the extra rule was given, if they were given authority to make that extra rule because they patrol the parking lots, you have to find that out. You keep going back to the same thing, that you can't find the rule in the HOA rules, but you can find a sign that says it, and it is a rule instituted by Park It Right. What you need to know, did Park It Right have authority to institute that rule? If the HOA says, yes, we go along with that, then you're screwed. The HOA doesn't have to.
That, Mark.
What's that?
Mark, I get that. What I'm saying is
Mark, stop yelling. Go ahead.
Where would that be in their information so they could communicate that to us? Yeah, I get that there's signs, but the thing is, the HOA is sending me one set of rules, and then the parking lot company is saying that there's another.
I know.
So they're not coinciding.
They don't have to. Let me explain something to you seriously now. If I had rules for parking cars, and then I hire a parking company, and they say, you know, in addition to those rules, you really need to crack down on people who park there all the time and are actually living there, or whatever, just whatever their reasoning is. And then I say, as the manager of the HOA or the HOA, I say, okay, but if you make that additional rule, we have to post it on the signs. And they go out and post it on the signs. Your question is not a bad one. What you're saying is this: if homeowners depend on the written HOA rules, how do they know that they should also look for signs? Because they're there. The best question is, if you saw that there on the parking lot, you must assume it's a rule. Now, what you could do is now take the sign and say, wait a minute, I can't find that rule in the HOA rules. Why is there an additional rule posted on a sign? I mean, I don't know the answer to that, Justin. I don't know why. Just ask the manager. Say, listen, I get it. I get it. You know, just use some honey instead of vinegar. Say, hey, I get it. They weren't supposed to park more than 3 days out of 7. Okay? If that's true, why is it not in the HOA rules and only on the signs? Just ask the question, because you think you have way more argument and way more power than you do. I promise you, Justin, I know it sounds logical what you're saying. Well, it's not in the HOA rules. Do you know what? I'd venture to say that most stuff is not in the HOA rules. Do you know why, Justin? I'll tell you this. Do you know, Justin, there's nothing in the HOA rules about calling to register, is there? Justin?
I think so. I think it does say that you've got to register your cars with the parking. That's what.
Okay, so you're saying when they made those new rules, why didn't they also include? It's a good question, Justin, but I don't know if that alone is enough to get you out of it. I don't know. I really don't know. Do you think the fact that it's only on a sign, and see, the landlord said that too. When they issued the
He said there was only one sign.
Hard to find.
Hard to find sign.
And it might be a ploy by fucking Park It Right.
I wouldn't put it past them.
But you can't just assume it.
9898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. So text the word secure to 989898.
Let's talk about American
Restoration 24/7. I'm telling you, I love promoting them because it keeps people from being ripped off. You know, a restoration company is someone you call after a fire, a flood, or maybe an unattended death, a crime, a pipe burst, or something where your property is insulted with mold or some kind of infestation, and you need to fix it. You need to stop the damage. You need to rebuild it. First of all, American Restoration will do as little or as much as you want them to do. They can stop it. They can mitigate it. They can rebuild. They can do whatever part you want. Here's the important part. They'll work with your insurance company. Now, the downside is a lot of consumers think because it is insurance related, they don't have to worry about it because the insurance is paying. But I have something to tell you. If they don't get rid of the asbestos or mold or whatever toxins there are properly, if you hire one of these rip-off companies, your insurance company is not going to pay twice. So get the right company up front. American Restoration, AmRest247.com, AmRest247.com. They have all the needed EPA certifications, 8337 AmRest. Floor coverings. I just got a call the other day. Actually, it was this morning about floor coverings. They wanted a wood floor. They didn't know the difference between solid wood, an engineered floor, or a laminate. The laminate is just that thin, like paper-thin coating that looks like wood. The engineered floor is that 1/4 inch of solid wood over fiber, and then a fiberboard, and then the hardwood is solid hardwood all the way through with a finishing coat, right? Well, anyway, the point I'm making is this. If you call simplyfloorsinc.com, if you go on that website, you'll educate yourself. They'll sell you what you want at the price you want with expert installers, design consultants built into every deal where they will tell you and how to really coordinate those floors with your project. They have a wide variety of carpeting as well as LVT, Simply Floors Inc., and better pricing and better installers. Simply Floors Inc., INC. Make your own appointment, simplyfloorsinc.com.
Hi, it's Mandy Connell. Join my friend.
We got some emails for you.
Now I'm jealous of my buddy. He bought a used one, but he gets his Model S Wednesday. God, he paid what the new ones go for.
Well, now you're not jealous, right?
Winter is here, but it's not too late to get a complete furnace check for just $79 from Plumline Services. Catch things before they turn into expensive problems. Turn to the experts you trust. Plumline Services, earning your trust since 1998. Now with a second location serving clients.
Well, it gives me something to test drive. Although his is a 19, it looks different.
Who's it?
My buddy Dan.
He's got one?
Comes Wednesday.
19 is not even close.
Yeah, I know.
To what you're going to get.
I know. Well, speed-wise it is. He's got the fast one.
You're sure of that?
But yeah, speed-wise. Not to the Plaid, to the long range.
Finding great candidates.
Yeah, but I still like
they look totally, well, not
Don't
totally.
they have the same ride? Don't they all have the same ride?
The ride, yes. The suspension, the comfort, yes.
To apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you.
He paid $91.4 for it. That's the base of a brand new. But he gets it Wednesday.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. With a new year comes new ways to save big. Belco Credit Union is offering 1% APY on a 24-month CD on balances of $500 or more. That's right.
He'll actually drag race it in a
24-month CD. To get that higher rate, you typically need to be longer term.
He will. That's why he bought it.
Call
That's literally why he bought it.
Or visit belco.org.
That's his deal, man. He loves it.
Online Indians.
He loves drag racing.
Conditions and restrictions apply.
Dan.
Insured by NCUA.
I don't know if you ever met Dan.
Which one?
His name's Dan Gutches.
I know Dan Gutches. Damon Dan. Damon Dan.
Yeah, pinball Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure that's right, because he's been at kids' graduations and all that.
It's been everywhere. Plus, he got a bunch of machines on Santa Fe in the basement.
Drive-wise from Allstate, the safer you drive.
Oh, that's right. I let him store. In fact, his business started out of my business. That was funny. He was selling parts like crazy out of there. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a classic arcade.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Welcome to the show. All right, so Suze, you got, she has some other emails for you, but she's right now. So let's talk to Tom. Tom, what's going on with you?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's going on?
I found a great deal on a barbecue grill on Lowe's app and ordered it. And they sent me a confirmation email, and the price was wrong on it. So I called them, spent a bunch of time on the phone walking them through getting to the price that I saw.
And what was this for?
I went ahead. It's like a grill smoker.
Okay.
Big ones.
What make?
And it's a char griller. It's a gravity-fed charcoal.
Okay, got it.
Smoker. And so I called him up, spent a bunch of time taking him through the steps to get there. She said, I see it. She goes, I see the price. She goes, I have to charge you freight for it. And I said, well, my app says free. So they figured that out, sent me the confirmation on the order. That was on Saturday last weekend. Monday, I get a cancellation of my order with no explanation.
And this was actually, this was not a third party. This was actually Lowe's.com?
Yes.
Okay.
It was through the Lowe's app that you put on your phone.
Right, got it. Ordered it, and then they just canceled it.
Yep. And then I followed up with
before. I hate to keep interrupting, but before you got the cancellation, did you ever get a confirmation of the order?
Yes, I did, and I emailed that to Suzanne.
Okay, then what?
So I talked to them, and I said, hey, why'd you cancel my order?
Right.
And they said the price was too low.
What? Wait. You were online? You ordered this online, and the price was advertised online.
And I actually have a screenshot that I sent to Suzanne of what I saw when I ordered it.
And did you go back, and was it changed when you went back?
Yes, they ended up, well, when she redid my order, it was still there, and it had changed by the time I got the cancellation.
Okay, let me explain this to you. Probably don't want to hear it.
I probably don't.
Companies are allowed to make mistakes. It's not false advertising. Unless.
The way I look, go ahead.
Unless it's a pattern of activity and they do it on purpose to get your calls and to get you to spend more. It's called bait and switch. However, I'm going to tell you something. Yeah. This is from the FTC, and we've handled hundreds of these over the years, hundreds of them. People think when something's priced the way it is, they got to sell it for that or it's false advertising. It's not necessarily. Okay, I said necessarily. Yeah. It can be, not necessarily. Now, many places will just say, give it to them, what the hell, and then be done with it. But some of them don't do that. So anyway, but I want to come back to you on it. I want to know what you want and if we can help you. Hold on.
And we've got a mail from Joel.
I hit it, didn't I? I did.
Okay, so here I'm sending it to you. Who's Joel? Joel is the cast of Park It Right. Or at least in my opinion.
I was very fair to that guy.
No, it's to the landlord, not to us. So He sent it directly to the landlord a minute ago.
Officers on scene directing traffic still and some side street wrecks, one at South University and First Avenue. That's just causing some slow speeds in the area. And a crash at Colfax and Lafayette Street, that's just west of Park Avenue. Your Fox 31 pinpoint weather.
They committed a crime against a property vendor.
Morning, 37 for the low. Mostly sunny and mid to upper 50s for the high tomorrow, and Saturday mostly sunny and high near 70. Right now sunny and 62. With your impact traffic and weather, Katie Mitchell, 6:30. Hey, how?
Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use code RADIO at checkout. Blindster.com.
Hey, let's talk about Genesis Total Exteriors. It's a company I highly recommend for home improvements for the outside of your home. And I mean that. I really love the way Mark Szymanski does business at Genesis. If you want a great home improvement company for roofing, gutters, siding, windows, doors, decks, painting, you can call Genesis. They're great people. Genesis Total Exteriors. And they also have solar. That's on the outside of the house. And they do solar like none other. They do a 25-year guarantee of all components and even guarantee the production of that system for 25 years. Meaning at the end of each year, if you don't generate what they said you would that year, then they write you a check. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509. Okay, I have said this time and time again. I'm going to say it again. Don't ever go into an insurance claim on your home for roofing or fire or for hail or for wind or for broken pipes or for any kind of insurance claim without getting the help of a public insurance adjuster. A public insurance adjuster works for you. You hire them. So if it comes from the insurance company, whether they call themselves independent or not, if they come from the insurance company, they work for the insurance company, and their purpose is to try to make your claim as small as possible. Many people end up paying out of pocket. But with Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, they will get you the most you have coming under your claim. In fact, without any obligation, they'll take a look at your claim and let you know what they can do for you. That's right. So even if you had a claim recently closed, maybe you didn't feel right about it, they can reopen it. That's right. They can also take a look at any claim you have, and they will be honest if they can help you. And if they say they can, they'll get way more money than you could ever get on your own. 720-715-0000. 720-715-0000. COClaims.com.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous?
150 and what? What do you think? A plaid. Come on, 0 to 150. How fast? Thomas.
7 seconds.
0 to 150.
5.3 seconds.
Oh, that'd be
For which one?
For the plaid.
How much?
9.2.
I was too short.
You were close.
And then you get a ticket for reckless driving if you go 150 miles an
Mark,
hour.
go over those questions with, I got to go make a call.
What questions? Well, yes, of course. You mean just talk SaferNet? Yeah, of course.
Or whatever you want. I mean, I gotta take this call.
Go. I think I want to go bowling.
Meet somebody new?
Get a free dinner.
What were your other business?
Had lots of them.
You had a whorehouse.
2 whorehouses.
Well, there you go.
The legal kind, though, in Nevada. No, I had computer stores. I had 3 computer stores, kind of like size of Radio Shacks, like Gateway Countries. I had 5 Goodyear stores around town. Had a cake route once. a long time ago.
Cake route.
Cake route.
Cake route.
Suzanne and I would deliver. We had knockoffs to everything Dolly Madison made. I had my own line made by the Flowers Bakery called Mountain Farm. So, you know, instead of Twinkies, we had Zingers. Instead of Snowballs, we had whatever the fuck. But we literally knocked off everything they made, and we sold everything either 2 for $1, 3 for $1, or 4 for $1. And we sold directly to grocery stores, and we would work the shelves just like Hostess back in the day. I think everything's direct to stores now, but that was one of my first businesses. An internet company. We had about somewhere between 500 and 1,000 people paying 20. What did we get back then, Philippe? $29.95.
We were getting between $25 and $29.95, depending on how we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a trip, man. So we had, I want to say, how many? We had 48 times 2. We had 96 phone lines coming into our servers, and we had to co-locate downtown in the old Quest building,
which was nice.
So we actually owned all the phone lines and the modems coming in, and then we would just truncate off them out to the internet. But we were running probably 40 to 1 on modems. Everything was 28.8, 33.6. Everything was modems. But when we'd get busy and people would complain about, all right, 303-713-8255. Tom, what is going on with Lowe's? We don't get a lot of complaint on Lowe's. In fact, I'd say more on Home Depot, but what's happening, man?
Mark, Tom just talked to him.
Oh.
It was that advertising one, that false advertising. I didn't quite get where we left it.
Tom, I'm sorry. Give it to me in a nutshell real quick. I was in the middle of something, and then Tom had to run out. So what happened with Lowe's? Was it in a...
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Oh, I went on the Lowe's app and ordered a charcoal grill.
Okay.
It was like $5.99. They had it 50% off. I went ahead and ordered it. They messed up the original order. I called them. They corrected it after I showed them where I saw it on the app. And 2 days later, they canceled my order without explanation. And I called them and they said, hey, we can't do it. The price is too low. And I mean, I just don't get that because I work in a grocery store and we have pricing issues all the time, and we always give it to them.
Yeah, but there's certain times. I'm going to give you one that I accidentally signed off on. So we used to run, I had some Goodyear stores, and I would run these money mailers, and we would do coupons. So how they would work is I would virtually tell them what I wanted. When I say virtually, I would kind of send them an email describing I want an oil change coupon, I want it to say this, then they'd design it. After they'd design it, they'd send me an email back, and I would literally sign off on a digital contract saying, I looked at it, I agreed on it. Well, one time, instead of $19.95, it was like 95 cents for an oil change. And that went out to about 30,000 homes. And you know what?
Wow.
I didn't do them. It was a legitimate mistake. I think I told a lot of people I'd do it for $9.95, which at the time was my cost. So it was quite a bit cheaper. But no, if it's a true, here's the test for it. If they did it to deceive you into trying to upsell you or trick you into coming to the store or to the car dealership, and you can prove that, that's a no-no. But if it's a legitimate mistake, then it's a legitimate mistake. I don't know. I can't see Lowe's trying to trick people on a grill. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it seemed, and they were really smug about it when I called them. I talked to a supervisor and I said, I think that's a little unethical and it's unprofessional. And he got real smug with me, and I said I was going to pass the information on to you guys. And
yeah, it's just it was
do what you got to do.
It was probably accidental. Yeah, I'll tell you one. It's a little different, but we had this lady call. This was years ago. This kind of sucked, man. They were advertising a certain car in a certain VIN number. If you look at advertisements on cars, whether it's on the internet, whether it's in a newspaper, if you can even find one of those anymore, they have to list the VIN number. Well, in this particular ad, there was no VIN number, which is a big no-no, but they literally were trying to do loss leaders. So when you would call up, they'd say, oh, yeah, we still have it, come on down. Well, what we found out is even if 10 people called, it didn't matter what day of the week, it was always still there. But the vehicle never existed. Those guys, I thought it was Don Massey Cadillac, but I don't quite remember. I appreciate that call, 303. Martino, we have some lines open, 303-713-8255. Now, I do want to ask you something. Brad Hawkins with SaferNet. We always talk about the VPN. We talk about the protection. You can download it, use a promo code TOM. You get 44 days for free. After that, it's $3.99 per device.
$3.99 for the first one, $3.99 for the second one, and then $1.99 for everything after.
For everything after that. So we talk about the price, we talk about the protection. The one thing that drives me crazy when you're in studio, you've been here, you guys never talk about this. My favorite part of it is the actual parental controls, or let's even throw out the word parental, the controls over it. Whatever device it is on, you can track where they go, anywhere. It's like having a leash on somebody. You can tell where that kid is at any time. If they have a car, you could actually probably tell with the right GPS settings how fast they drive that car because that GPS is moving. On top of that, if you don't want younger kids visiting some different websites, you can block them from it. If you don't want them on Facebook, you can block them from it. If you don't want them on YouPorn, you can block them for it. You have complete control, and also you have complete auditing, right? Can you go back and see what they were doing?
You can go back for about 7 days, and then it goes away.
Yeah, to see the history.
Exactly.
Think about that. Let's say you've got tweens out there. You know, what is that, 12 years old, whatever a tween is these days, and you don't know what they're doing on there. You can see what websites are visiting even after the fact, just like a history, and they can't wipe it out. And then you get the full protection, so you don't have to worry about getting hit with some kind of a hack where you're giving up all your bank information, or an email hack, or getting ripped off just in any which way.
Exactly.
Do you have any real big clients like that you brag about, like, the U.S. government uses us, or whatever it is?
No, I wish we did. And if you got access to a big company, come and talk to me.
Well, of course.
But the thing is that we've got roughly around 11,000. Actually, no, we just crossed 12,000 customers.
Sweet.
And we're really excited about the growth that we've made. But they're one at a time.
And it's constant updates, too, because there's people out there trying to combat antiviruses, if you will, all the time. I mean, really, you guys have to stay on top of it just like everybody else.
Exactly. And that's part of it, because you've got these big companies like Apple and they go in there and change their platform, which we have to come in behind and adjust our devices or our app to be able to match that new platform.
So it's simple, SaferNet.com. It's simple as this. If you do want it, it's $4. There's nothing at $4 anymore. I'd even say that's a cup of coffee a day, but it's not. That's you know what? I'm not going to say who, but someone in my life, when they get a coffee, it's
Stop it.
I didn't.
It's only in Vegas.
I didn't say that. Oh, I'll tell you what's even worse.
Hey, Brad.
Now, hold on, Doc. Let me ask you something, Brad. This is a little off subject.
Oh, wow.
But have you ever been, like, let's just say, I don't know, a resort, and your significant other runs down to get coffee, like at a Starbucks, let's say. They get 3 coffees. Three coffees. And you don't get any of them.
I can honestly say that's never happened.
Oh, okay.
But you need to talk to Bonnie Shields about getting a divorce if that happens.
Hey, Mark.
Can Brad protect against the Russians? The Russians are coming. Can you protect against?
He can, if they're coming after you through the computers, he sure can.
Absolutely.
But really, you can't get a better deal. I got a little off track there. You talk about a cup of coffee. Really, it's $3.99, but try it out for free. You go to safernet.com, you get signed up, then you get your device, whichever one you want to put it on, your cell phone, whatever. And talking about Starbucks, I have been in a Starbucks in a casino and looked at how many people are trying to scan for all the information on your phone. It's mind-blowing on these public internet access points. Hey, what's going on, Jay?
Yeah, the guy that called about the grill at Lowe's.
Yeah.
You know what it is that you had thousands of people on that site trying to buy that grill, not just him.
So you think they sold
a corporate decision? No, it's more than one grill. More than one people wanted that deal at 50% off.
Oh, I'm sure.
A lot of people saw it.
Here's the other thing I wondered. I didn't bring it up to him because none of us know the answer. I wondered if it was like an end of the run or something that was going to be terminated, a bad SKU number, and they only had a certain amount to get rid of, and a bunch of people ordered them, and they realized there was too many.
Right. That's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. If they had 500 grills left, they weren't going to take a loss on 500 grills. They'll give you one grill at the local store, but they ain't sending out, and plus shipping too.
Hey, who do you like better, Lowe's or Home Depot? Just out of curiosity.
It's a toss-up. It's a toss.
Yeah, you know what's weird is sometimes I end up going to both. That drives me crazy. We had to have a key made one time. They both said they had key machines, but neither of them had the key we needed. So, and then other times, like, one will be completely out of like an entire section of stuff, like sprinkler parts. If you ever try to go into a Home Depot right after, some 80-degree weather in Colorado, they seem to always under-order on sprinkler parts. Suzanne?
I just got an email from Joel Perry, so we should read that and talk about it tomorrow.
Where is it? Is it to us or is it to one to there? Okay,
No,
I'd love to have Joel Perry on.
Directly from Joel Perry.
I'd love to have Joel on. You know what? A lot of owners love to come on and talk about what they do. We've tried to get Joel on in the past. He didn't want to come on.
Is he asking to come on?
He says he wants to talk to you, Tom. I'm unclear if that's on the air or not due to hearing issues. So I need to read through it a little better, and I'll send it to you guys.
Now, he did send an email to that landlord, Mark.
Yeah, I see it.
And the interesting part is he basically breaks down how it works at that complex. They were hired by the complex to enforce parking. It appears as if they set the rules just like you were trying to explain.
Now, Mark, here's the deal now. If they're allowed to set, I think I've been more so this time than ever before. I've been fair to this guy because I don't see anything that he did wrong at this point. I mean, not in this case, I don't.
If he's got one sign hidden back there in the middle of nowhere.
No, that would be it.
That would be a big problem, and that's exactly what we ran into with him. He claimed, he didn't claim on the air, but he claimed that there were signs all over the place. We drove out there. How many signs were there? There was like one buried back in the corner. That was years ago.
The real issue there wasn't the sign. It's what it said. Here's what it said. Listen to this.
This was crazy.
It said, parking in authorized spaces only. Unauthorized parking will be booted.
And guess what?
Hold on. But then...
No definition.
There were no parking lots marked. So in other words, it did say unauthorized parking will be booted, right? Park in authorized spaces only. But then you go out and look at the parking lot. There's all... I said, where can you park? Where can you not park? There was nothing marked unauthorized. Don't park here or park here. And it also said, I mean, truly, honest to God, it was that stupid.
It made no sense.
Authorized parking. What does authorized parking only mean? What does that mean? What is? I mean, no, in authorized spaces. I mean, and it was ridiculous. And this person lived there, right?
Yeah.
She was visiting her daughter or something.
No. So no, it was the actual tenant there. It was an apartment complex. It wasn't like a condo situation, but it was the person. It was literally the person or their daughter or something. All right, we got to take a quick break.
Now, man, honest to God, so this guy's on, or will he come on? I mean.
No, let's do it tomorrow because you know who else we're having on tomorrow? Wyatt's.
Oh, really?
The new
good
regulations.
Oh, so tomorrow's car day and tow day?
Tomorrow's towing and boot day.
So I'm going to be, you're going to be starting anyway, probably. Or I'm going to be late or whatever.
You know what you should do?
They wouldn't get mad.
Don't settle for mediocre relationship. Break up with your insurance provider and get AAA insurance with coverage that loves you back. For 1 year, AAA has been providing auto insurance for the name you trust. Switch today and save up to 25%. Visit AAA.com/breakup.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Looking to list a property, you won't do better. Looking to find a property, you won't do better. How can that be? Because he has teams dedicated to each one. He also supervises all of them and touches every deal directly. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Also, free market valuations of your home to find out what it will sell for on the market. In this current market, way better for sellers than even an appraisal. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Estate planning is not an option, really, not if you have anything. You need to protect yourself from lawsuits and creditors and charlatans. You also need to protect your heirs. You can even spell out how you want your heirs to use their inheritance. It's really great control, but it's also peace of mind. Now, you can go to BlakeHarrisLaw.com for all your estate planning needs. We do, and you can ask your questions free of charge from Blake. He won't charge for the answers. He simply will say, if you want to hire him, what it will cost, and he'll quote those rates, flat rates, up front. That's BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. That's 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Hi, everybody. Jack Corrigan.
Now they're making him look like a hero because he's releasing gas reserves.
Oh, my God. It does nothing.
It's the most stupid thing.
Yeah, and here's the other part. Just to say this, he's doing it while Russia is invading other countries. At a certain time, the reason we have oil reserves is in case of a fucking national emergency. It's probably not the best time to fucking do it.
So I have a question. If he releases X number of millions of barrels of oil, does he set the price?
No, of course not.
So
he sells it on the open market to us.
Oh, that he doesn't say, I'm selling it to you for $5 a barrel, and you can't charge the public more?
No.
Well, then it's crazy.
Of course it's crazy. Not only that, because he's got to turn around and replace it at the prices going on now with money that he gets from us taxpayers.
Did you hit some of those emails with her? What? For SaferNet?
We talked a lot about him. Just hit it again, promo code Tom. We talked about it heavy.
We did a great job. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I just want to ask a question to someone.
You really like SaferNet.
Scott, our deputy Scott said he owned the building and had parking problems and hired wife.
The concrete is still sinking. Porches, driveways, floors, they all settle over time.
You know what I've noticed? When I was looking at cars here. I noticed the trend. What's that?
Fairway Collision.
I'm going to tell you in a second.
A trend in parking,
no, ads for cars as a truck. I mean, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, I always see, when I see an ad, special blah, 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 it always has VIN number or mile number.
It does too here, but I'm going to show you.
Okay.
It's that time of year when spring's in full swing and explosions of light.
Twice it happened, different dealers, different parts of the country. It's definitely true. Definitely works too. It works too.
So keep puffs by your side to soften all
your here's what it is. Okay. They'll put a cart.
They'll cushion your nose.
What you're looking for.
Especially during allergies.
They know what the price is usually. And this one has everything. And it's a low fucking price. It's like unbelievable price. They're all like 180, 190. This is 130. Every option. Low model. And you hit it. And it says, yeah, that SIN number, let's see, give it to me again. Doesn't seem to go to that car. It must be an error. It goes to an
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything is said sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care.
And then they'll tell
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and
twice
passionate about,
now, I know 2 different dealers, 2 different parts of the world.
You know what you do, Tom? It's all good. So listen, here's what I would do. When you're with him on the air over there, I'm with you. Say, hey, why don't you come over and say goodbye? It's all cool here. Everything's great. But that way, that audience can capture all 8 of them.
Mm-hmm. So, Mark, I'll tell you what I discovered.
Is it on that vehicle?
No, on something.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I want to tell you about Garage Magic. It is so important. We are so happy to have GarageMagic.com on our website. And I'm going to give you a number. We're talking about great garage coatings, hangers, commercial buildings, whatever you want. And here's the difference. They're all employees. They're not independent contractors. These people work their asses off, and it's all in the prep. They're extensively trained, and they have the great people with a 21-year warranty. It's called polyasparatic Raspartic. That this is it's so much stronger than epoxy. I mean, it's just a great system. It's resistant to UV, hot tires, gas, and oil. So just remember, it's getting warmer. A lot of people are going to be doing this. GarageMagic.com, 720-600-HOME. 720-600-HOME, GarageMagic.com. Okay, so let's finish up by saying that
we're going to try to get Joel on tomorrow.
Yes.
He's the owner of Park It Right. Guess who else is on tomorrow real quick?
Wyatt's Towing.
Wyatt's Towing, the owner.
Now, SaferNet.com, if you go on there and put Tom in the promo code, you will get 44 days free. 44 days free to try it out. What a wonderful thing. All right, folks, we're out of time. Referralist.com, save all your problems for me.